from the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are the hosts of Balloon Fiesta Live, Glen Moyer and Art Lloyd Jr.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Goodness, time for the cough button.
See how you are? You didn't warm that voice up yet this morning.
I didn't do my exercises. My VO coach would be killing me right now.
I bet he would.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday morning already at the 49th Annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta Day.
That makes it day 4.
Day 4. It also makes it Coca-Cola Day.
Yes.
And as always, I'm Glen Moyer, and beside me is Art Lloyd Jr. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Art.
Good morning. We are here for I think going to be a really cool day of competition. And
quite a task we have on hand. It took 3 of us up here to figure it all out.
Yeah, in fact, I was predicting what we were going to do today, and they threw my prediction out. Didn't listen to me at all.
Well,
Just
there you
sent
go.
something else out.
Hey, we had it right yesterday, though. We knew they were going to do the Sid Cutter Memorial, and what a great day we had. 2 pilots scoring in the boat.
They were, and we had it live on Balloon Fiesta Live.
Indeed we did, yeah.
And you can go back and watch that. It's all archived. The best way to get to those is just to go to balloonfiesta.com. Choose the Balloon Fiesta Live page, and you'll be able to see all the archives, not only from this year, but from our past 4 years, because this is year number 5 for Balloon Fiesta Live.
5th anniversary, and we should mention that we are powered by ExxonMobil, brand new sponsor with us this year, and glad to have them on board.
We are. They've been great to work with, and already talking about what might happen in the years to come, so excited about that.
There are more years coming?
Yes.
Oh.
Next year is year number 50.
5-0? How do you do?
5-0.
Oh, 5-0. Whatever.
Then you don't get into this which way switch, see?
Are you confused yet? We are.
No, the big 5-0, because Balloon Fiesta started in 1972 with the postponement of last year's event. That means event number 50 on the 50th year anniversary all lined up together.
And so the pandemic, there was actually one good thing that has come out of the pandemic then. Because last year's Siesta delay makes all of that, obviously, the stars all align for us.
It did, because it was getting difficult to explain to people, how can this be the 49th event, but it's the 50th anniversary, or vice versa?
Yeah.
Any of those kinds of things was getting very difficult to explain to folks. And actually, it's kind of really simple. When you are born, you are 0, but that's your first event.
Exactly.
So then it moves on, and so at 1 year, you're 1 year old, but you're starting your second year, so that's how it comes out.
Yeah, I had trouble figuring that out because this is my 32nd year on the rooftop studio and also the super secret announce tower, et cetera. But when I go back and say, well, wait, my first year announcing was 1990, so 90 and 21, it doesn't. But then when you go 1990, 91, 92, 93, then it works that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's confusing. I never understood math in school anyway. It was my worst subject.
So we are going to have a Dawn Patrol, a Dawn Patrol exhibition. Let's call it that.
Yeah,
we'll have some Dawn Patrol balloons up.
It's not the orchestrated, scripted program that you and I do where we count down and we cue the pilots to the various burns and even when to inflate, go hot, and all that sort of thing. These are just some of the members of the Dawn Patrol show. Sometimes there are other pilots who simply join in who enjoy flying a Dawn Patrol, a pre-sunrise flight.
If they have been through the currency requirements to actually do that.
Well, there are legal requirements.
Yeah, you can't just jump out and go fly in the morning.
No, you can't do. You just don't jump out and inflate your balloon and fly off into the darkness. But if you meet the requirements, and including having the position lights, et cetera, that the regulations required, then you can join and do a Dawn Patrol flight here at Balloon Fiesta. But it's not the orchestrated Dawn Patrol show. We save that for the weekends. And again, tomorrow morning. So we will have that tomorrow morning.
All of our mass ascension mornings.
Right, exactly.
We've been listening in on their radio communications. They already have fans on. In fact, our picture here, there's the museum in the background, and that gives us the silhouette of at least one of those in the front.
Right, yeah.
So they'll be getting up and away. Then we're going to have a number of our balloons. About half of them will launch from right here on the field, kind of like a mass ascension, except that it's only half of what we have here. because the other half are going to take their trucks, go somewhere else after pilot's briefing, and then attempt to fly back into the field and do not one, but 2 different tasks.
That's right.
As they come in.
Yep, and we'll describe those to you as we get into competition this morning. I was just having a chuckle here because looking at our Facebook feed, and we have live chat rooms on both our Facebook and our YouTube feed. Mark Passan, an artist friend of ours who's certainly been a contributor to Balloon Fiesta, says, "Good morning, Glen and Art. It's 1 p.m. in the UK. We're talking about pre-dawn, pre-sunrise flights. It's 1 p.m. in the UK, and a very civilized time." Whoops, where does time go? A very civilized time to be watching Fiesta on the widescreen TV. Well, we're wishing it were 1 p.m. and we could watch it with you instead of being here. Well, no, we're not. We enjoy being here. But it is early here. Nice that you can watch it during your lunch hour over in the UK. Have a cup of tea with me, or for me, will you?
There you go. Good to hear from you, Mark. On the YouTube side, we've heard from Virginia and Keystone Heights, Florida, from the Netherlands. And let's see, Cummings, Georgia, Rome, New York, Flint, Michigan. Just some of the places that have already checked in this morning.
Ina Vanderkratz from over in Holland is checking in, of course, this morning. And the one thing I've noticed, it's gotten progressively, as we said it would earlier, it's been a very moderate year temperature-wise, and it's gotten progressively warmer each morning. It's a couple of degrees warmer. So I don't have all my Fiesta gear on this morning. I've just got a nice sweater on, but I just realized I don't have pockets.
Uh-oh.
I've got gloves in my briefcase, but so I went to put my hands in my pockets, and I went, wait, sweaters don't have pockets. So I'll have to make a wardrobe change at some point, maybe.
Well, there you go. So we're taking a look at pilot's briefing. There's Henry Rosenbaum, our Balloonmeister, and you notice he doesn't even have his cap on this morning.
Oh, he doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, and I'm checking the weather here at the weather station right here on the rooftop studio, and it actually shows
0 miles per hour, or is that 1?
It is 2
okay.
miles an hour, and it's 52 degrees here. Yesterday it was like 49 degrees up here, and the wind was 4 or 5 at this point of the time.
Yeah, and then the wind got to 10 and 12, and it felt like 30 degrees up here.
Which is why and that's what the number on the right side is when you get to that point. Right now it's showing
I realize it's
a heat index of 50.
A heat index of 50. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's quite comfortable out this morning.
It is.
There's the Dawn Patrol show, or the Dawn Patrol, rather. Dawn Patrol flight, maybe we should call it.
Yeah, we'll call it the Dawn Patrol flight.
Yeah, so they're beginning to hot inflate their balloons. They'll be standing up here shortly.
And we're waiting for pilot's briefing to get over to the weather portion. We don't need to listen in on all the housekeeping issues that are going on. Once they get to the weather, we'll join them as well from pilot's briefing tower.
I still miss us not doing pilot of the day because I love that. And tequila, which always happens.
That was a secret, but that wasn't supposed to get out.
Oh, it's been known for years. Are you kidding?
If you went to pilot briefing.
Well, see, if we show it, then people would know it.
But
that might be a new bingo thing. Show it and we know it.
Here we go with bingo. Let me get my card out.
That's right. Get your card out. Get ready to play. All our friends over in the UK are playing. It's an inside joke, playing a little game of bingo. Well, I've already mentioned Tartan and I think Ireland and Scotland, and so there's a couple of marks on the bingo cards already.
Been a few.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen is usually on there. Of course, that's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
That's like having a free space.
Yeah, it actually is. So that really shouldn't count.
You know that one's going to come. We got a little advance notice on the weather, though, that we are expecting a box this morning. So that could mean multiple passes coming through the competition later today, and or even the guys that go off not participating in competition, going up and just kind of hanging up there and watching what's going on.
Yeah, that's always fun.
There's the glove.
Oh, that was the glove that was dropped yesterday?
Yeah.
I wonder what Henry's saying about it. What was it stuffed with? Because obviously.
I did not look to see. Because the idea is you're supposed to throw a marker,
right.
A little beanbag with a long tail on it. That's what you're supposed to throw.
And it's an official marker that's provided to the pilots by Fiesta.
Yes. But there was one throw that came in at the boat, and it just came in hard and fast. And I said, there's no tail on that. I thought maybe they hadn't unfurled it at first.
Right.
And then when I looked, there was nothing coming out, and I looked closer, and it was definitely a glove, and we had a great shot of that.
Yeah.
It actually almost landed in the boat, but it would have been a penalty, probably still was, for an unauthorized marker.
That's the word I was searching for yesterday. I called it illegitimate, which I'm not sure is right. I couldn't think of the word unauthorized. Thank you for bringing that to me now, of course. Always a day late and a dollar short in my life, it seems like.
I thought you got unauthorized out eventually.
No, I don't recall that I did, but we'll check the bingo cards and see.
Boise, Idaho is in the house. Topeka, Kansas. Galena, Illinois. Fort Wayne, Indiana. And all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico as well.
Western Massachusetts on Facebook. We know that the UK is there and Holland is there. Kennesaw, Georgia, Bentonville, Arkansas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Bismarck, North Dakota, Sealy Lake, Montana, Oklahoma City, Albuquerque, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Iowa, Oregon, Florida. Charlene Smith says, miss Tom Rutherford. So do we, Charlene. Tom and I worked together here 25 years. He is quite the gentleman and was a great partner to work with. Think about him every day that I'm here and all the time, actually. Very dear friend. He was the original voice of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
The Lindstrand Factory. Lindstrand, of course, one of the big manufacturers of balloons, hot air balloons.
Yep.
They're watching from Illinois. Got a second check-in from Topeka, Kansas.
Terry Konash Louise is watching from what she calls Flatland. That's over in the, I think she's at Florida if I remember right. Jackson, Michigan, checking in at any rate. Hello, Tina. I'm sorry, I mean Terry. Whoops. It's still early in the morning. My glasses haven't unfogged.
We're starting to get some of the radio calls from our Dawn Patrol flight.
I heard that for the flicker burn. Springfield, Missouri. Let's see. Anderson, South Carolina. Oh, that's Travis. Hi, Travis. Park Rapids, Minnesota, near the headwaters of the Great Mississippi River, or the Mississippi, as they say down in Mississippi. New Bern, North Carolina.
Yep.
People from all over.
Philadelphia, PA.
Melbourne, Australia. Hi, good day. People from down under.
Houston, Texas.
Sedon, Kansas.
Zach says he also misses the Pilot of the Day segments.
Well, there you go.
Well,
so see,
I don't know that we've ever broadcast those.
We have I think in past years, or maybe I'm just remembering when I was
from flying.
From flying.
I don't think.
I think we should.
The Pilot of the Day segments?
Yes.
We'll have to pick one of those up one morning.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the Pilot of the Day, for those that don't know, is we recognize individual pilots, crew, or even the public can nominate a pilot, a Balloon Fiesta pilot, to be named Pilot of the Day for having done some good deed. In some way they came to the rescue or helped a crew that needed assistance, or a balloon pilot maybe, or a pilot may have landed and done something, you know, spectacular or out of the ordinary for a landowner, and they can be nominated as Pilot of the Day. And each day of Balloon Fiesta, we recognize from the tower during pilot briefing a Pilot of the Day, and they receive a whole gift basket full of goodies. And
a whole list
of things. One of which, the whole reason I'm so excited about it this year, is one of which is one of my tartan scarves. Bingo. But the fun about it is it always has usually included from one of our sponsors a bottle of tequila. And so they go through. So the Pilot of the Day is, you know, Joe Blow, and he gets this, and he gets that, and he gets this, and he gets that. And the pilots down below are going, ooh, you're right, Kim. And then the final thing is, and tequila.
And everyone joins in.
Yeah. So it's
just like
it's
the song, everybody
fun.
yells tequila at that point of the routine.
Yeah, and whoever's winning probably does a little tequila dance. But I mean, it's just great. It's great fun. But it's a nice way to recognize pilots for doing something a little out of the ordinary, a little extra, and helping their
being
fellow
the ambassador of the day.
Or being an ambassador of the day. We may have changed the name from Pilot of the Day to Ambassador of the Day. I think that happened somewhere along the way.
The nomination box still says Ambassador of the Day.
Does it?
And
okay.
I think depending, because it could be a crew.
Yes,
so I mean the pilot could have gone off and flown, and his crew
helped out another crew maybe that needed some assistance. Right. Yeah, and I think it originally was Pilot of the Day, and then I think they opened it up to others. So I think at some point they did rename it Ambassador of the Day. I don't recall, but see, if we were broadcasting that, we would know.
We would know for sure.
Just say it. Just say it.
Okay. All right. I just heard they're about to start launching the Dawn Patrol flight.
They are. Roanoke, Texas, checking in. Boston.
Michael Scott on the left, I think.
Boston.
And I think that's Matthew Grote in Jester Unwind on the right, and then that would be Steve Jones right there.
Rick Jones. Steve Jones is a whole other person.
You're right. Thank you. Yep.
One of those that we're missing from Dawn Patrol this year is There's an all burn from Dawn Patrol. One of the folks missing from Dawn Patrol, especially the Dawn Patrol show this year, is Claire Wade Callahan. And our best wishes go out to Claire. I'm sure she's watching. She is at home with her husband is in hospice, and his care person tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh.
And so she, the whole family had to go into quarantine, and as a result are not able to be here. So our best thoughts and wishes to our good friend Claire.
Pilot briefing has moved to the weather. Let's check it out.
Pressure here across the area this morning. It is hanging on across New Mexico, but that is going to work its way off to the east. And you can see off to our west, we do have a disturbance kind of working its way through. That disturbance is expected to approach from the west and mainly lift north and west of us, so really not expecting too much in the way of activity here locally. Oops. We better talk fast. All right. So anyway, that's expected to lift north and east, and so given that that's the case, not too much activity here, but we could see a shower overnight. So make sure you cover your equipment if it's out in the back of a truck or something like that, and protect it from any rain showers that might move into the area. Here's what we're looking at currently is basically temperatures right around 50 degrees or so, and I'll start with the observations from around the area. Temperature of, let's start at Sunport. Temperature of 56 degrees, dew point 40, relative humidity 54%. Winds were 020 at 3 knots, and a barometric pressure of 30.26 inches of mercury. Double Eagle is 46 degrees, dew point 37, relative humidity 71%. The barometric pressure is 30.28 inches of mercury, and they were calm. So here's what we've kind of got going on in the profiler. And what what I'm really excited and happy to report to you is that we have a box this morning, and this is a very true box. So we've had kind of different variations of it for the last, earlier in the weekend, but this is going to be a legit box, and I think it's going to be really awesome for you this morning. So in the near surface layer, we have that drainage wind out of the northeast, somewhere running in a 10 to 20 degree fashion. You can't really see it here on the profiler because it's actually missing a couple observations, but it's shallow and it's not as strong as what we saw yesterday. So the expectation is that in the near surface layer, it'll be running somewhere around 5 to 10 knots. Then once you get above about 750 feet or so, the winds will go light and then switch out of the south, and you'll have consistent south to north winds above that. So you could fly a box and make multiple passes, that sort of thing. I mean, and it's going to be great. It should hold through the morning. It should be a really fantastic day. So I'll put this up. And we sent out yesterday a remind with the link of the profiler information. So for those that are flying competition, if you want extra help, you have a constant wind reader with additional wind information on the field taking observations every 6 minutes. It's like you get your own theodolite type readings. All you have to do is go to this website. It's constantly updating and giving you the latest wind information. It's really a great tool for those flying in the field or flying off the field for that matter. I will say Robert ran a pieball this morning, and so I'll give you that reading as well. It's very similar. I will say, though, we have seen that the drainage shallow and slow since he ran this pieball, so it's going to sound worse than what we're actually experiencing now. So at 100 feet, he had a wind of 2 degrees at 7.4 knots. So 100 feet was 2 degrees at 7.4. 300 was wind at 7 degrees at 11.8 knots. 300 feet was 7 degrees at 11.8. 500 feet was 10 degrees at 7 knots. So 500 feet is 10 degrees, 7 knots. 700 feet is 22 degrees at 4 knots. 22 degrees at 4, and then here's where it changes. So 900 feet was 110 at 6 knots, 110 at 6 knots. Oop, it's done. 1,100 feet is 135 at 8 knots, 135 at 8 knots, and then this is where it continues to just come back out of the southeast. 1,300 feet, 140 at 6 knots, 140 at 6. 1,500 is 165 at 5 knots. And then it just continues out of the south as you continue to go aloft, generally in that 5 to 10 knot range. So really should be an absolutely fantastic morning for everyone. So have a great flight. With that said, I do have a piebald to release in case the Dawn Patrol isn't enough for you. My helper this morning is Mason Warren. So do we have any launch directors in the area to give Mason a go-ahead?
I'll give you a couple seconds to watch this one.
So we just heard weather from Brad T. Meyer at Pilot's Briefing.
We did.
Confirming what I had already revealed.
You're so brilliant.
Well, I'm trying to stay up on things and predict what's going to happen so that we're prepared to cover that and be able to talk about it. And so, yes,
that's
indeed,
why you're the executive producer and get the big bucks.
That's exactly. Wait a minute, big bucks? I don't even know that I've seen bucks, much less big ones.
Oh yeah, come on now, we know better.
Yeah. So our Dawn Patrol flight is away. We're watching them as well. Michael Scott gave us a shout as he went over the rooftop studio. So good morning, Michael. The floating Oasis balloon we're seeing right now, the cactus and other palm trees and other things all on that.
Someone
balloon.
was asking what the name of that balloon was. So
floating Oasis.
Floating away, not Oasis, but Oasis.
Oasis, yeah.
As in going away.
Greg Lindsay from Safford, Arizona.
Yeah.
Is flying that.
Another shout out from Steve Kale over in the UK is part of the team at Exclusive Ballooning, Andrew Holly's company, and they're watching from the HQ. Sorry that they couldn't make it out here, and so are we. We miss all you guys. We do have some of the Exclusive Ballooning fleet with us, some of the shapes. The penguins are here, and Bingo Duma, the cheetah, is here. So,
Bingo.
Yep, bingo.
Well, I don't have a blackout yet, but I'm getting close.
We're getting there, but it's early in the morning. There's still more to come.
Hey, Crystal Schneider is checking in from Goddard, Kansas, and she says she shows Balloon Fiesta live in her classroom all day long. Remember, she's in Kansas, and she tells her students it's their job to look out for her balloon, which is Prairie Sunset, and for her dad's balloon, Juliet. So, hi, kids.
Yeah, and speaking of kids, this might win from for the best message of the day. Let's see. Aubrey Jane Dumke says, good morning from St. Germain Elementary first grade class in St. Germain, Wisconsin. I am so excited to show my students and hopefully see my dad, Don, who is launching and flying here. So good morning to the first grade class at St. Germain, Wisconsin.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, so a couple nights ago, we launched a number of gas balloons out of the field here. In fact, they kind of literally went out of the middle of the field with a whole bunch of hot air balloons all around them.
Yeah,
it was the 24th America's Challenge Gas Balloon Race. We're happy to report that all 4 teams are now landed safely. And to bring us up to date on how all that worked out, our reporter Kim Vesley, who also works the America's Challenge. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, fellas. How you doing?
We're great. Tell us about the race.
Well, we had a small but mighty race this year with 4 American competitive teams, and it was a very short but very strategic race. And the winners, I know everybody, drum roll right here, right? Okay. Our team 4, Noah Forden and Bert Pedelt. Noah's from Rhode Island and Bert from Pennsylvania. They went 356 miles in about 36 hours, and they landed at the airport in Big Springs, Texas. I'm serious.
I know you are, and we're just all chuckling because normally on one of these races you land in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get lucky, you land near a town.
Yeah, and on any balloon flight, it's unusual to land at an airport. We just don't generally operate out of airports.
Yeah. Well, Noah is a very experienced aviation pilot in airplanes, and so of course I was sitting there thinking if anybody would have done this, it would have been Noah.
And it's not like that airport it's not like it's Dallas Fort Worth International or O'Hare or Atlanta. So it's a fairly small airport, I would think.
But it was a very close race in the end because Albuquerque's Barbara Fricke and Peter Cuneo almost caught them. But had to land because they started hitting thermals out in the plains out there. This is weather generated by rising heat, and it's not a good thing to fly through in balloons. So in the interest of safety, they went ahead and put it down.
They fought through it the day before, they told me, and so they they were prepared. They weren't going to do that again. Didn't need to do a second day of that.
And then the other two teams landed on the first day. One of the things they all said is that it was just that first night was just incredibly cold. Noah and Bert said they had 11 degrees in the basket.
Yeah.
And at that point, nothing you do is going to keep you warm. I mean, they had, layers of clothing and hand warmers and the whole 9 yards, and they still just froze their little heinies off.
I had a chance to talk with Sherry White this morning, and she said, now it's like 36 hours after that cold. She says her fingers are still numb. That they had 3 sleeping bags in addition to all of those on there. But we were estimating the temperature up there probably would have been in the single digits because they all went to 15, 16, 17,000 feet. So it was definitely cold up there. They've all complained about how cold it was.
Yeah, they were just freezing. I mean, all of them have said that.
Yes.
So, and it really was an interesting strategic race too.
What about Brian and Brenda?
Oh, Brian and Brenda, they showed up the first afternoon, came into the command center. They were smiling. They had a great time. Of course, they landed quite early on. They were just, they had likewise been incredibly cold the first night. And, they found a good place to land and, couldn't see that, that they were going to really be able to get all that far anyway.
This was not one of those that the things were going to change in a day and you were all of a sudden going to pick up speed and go somewhere.
This was a race that was going nowhere in a hurry or maybe not in such a hurry. What's fun about, if you think about it, about Brenda and Brian is this was their second America's Challenge. In the first one, in 2019, they finished 4th. And in their second one, since there were 4 teams, they finished 4th.
They're going to finish 4th.
So
right.
now, how many teams in 2 consecutive races have finished in the same place in 4th place? It's a bit of a phenomenon because of the or an aberration because of the number of teams and the lack of the international competitors this year. But still, I find that interesting. They can now say they've flown in 2 races back to back. They finished 4th.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Which means it's the top 10. Yeah. It's even the top 5.
That's right. 2 top 5 finishes.
There you go.
But it's really interesting because the strategies in this race developed very early on.
They did.
I mean, if you look at the tracking, almost immediately 2 kind of went south and east, and the other 2 went north and east. And actually, both strategies worked because Noah and Bert were kind of on the south and east strategy. They went very high very early, and stayed high. Whereas Peter and Barbara, who were kind of on the other strategy, kind of wound up hanging back for about 30 hours before they really started to move east in earnest, and they still got pretty close to where the first team got in terms of distance.
But barely out of the state of New Mexico.
Yeah. But that was really hard to do. I mean,
it was hard to get out of the state.
I mean, this is trying to make something out of nothing. It's hard to fly a distance race when they're in any wind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to go anywhere when you can't go anywhere. It was really interesting, and that's why I say it was a race that was going nowhere in a hurry at a snail's pace. And I think that's why we saw a lot of the teams make the decisions to land when they did. But you were right about the strategy because we saw that even before we were off the air on Saturday night at the launch. You saw the 2 balloons, Brenda and Brian, and
Barbara and Peter
were going north around the Sandias, and the other 2 teams, Bert and Noah, and Peter and Barbara.
Mark and Sherry,
I'm sorry, going to the south side. So there were 2 distinct strategies. They all worked, but no one achieved great distance. But
we knew that going in too. Yeah. We knew that going in. We looked at the trajectories, and yeah, it was like you could almost fly a box and come back here.
Yeah, it was pretty much nothing. They were joking in the command center that when Noah and Bert finally crossed the border from New Mexico into Texas, it was like, did anybody tell them that part of the rules is you got to stay in New Mexico? You know?
All right. Well, congratulations to all the America's Challenge teams. They have their award ceremony with the pilot ceremony this year,
on
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, normally they have their own separate banquet. This year we've incorporated it to the award ceremony that you and I host on Saturday afternoon so it'll all be part of Fiesta this year.
It will be, and it is our game plan again to record the award ceremony and then post the video shortly after that.
Okay,
so you can
great.
be part of the award ceremony. After that happens on Saturday. Kim Vesely, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Good to see you guys this morning.
It's nice to see you as well, and I think we all feel a little more rested finally. So.
Yes, we do. Let's go watch them drop some markers here in a little bit.
Yeah, well, let's do it.
Well, we heard that the box was going to be there, and Dawn Patrol is proving that as they are flying back over the field. We would just point out, as we do our observations, that they have rolled slightly to the west. And so it's not 100%, but man, it's really close, and that's really going to set up for a really great day of competition here at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, where it's Coca-Cola Day.
It is Coca-Cola Day, and it's also still dark.
It is still dark.
I just looked up and thought, wait a minute, it's not even getting light yet. What time is it? Did we sign on early
just
today?
Now starting to peek over the Sandias.
So did they wrap up pilot briefing already, or I guess maybe they have?
We'll have to hear from the truck and our camera out there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. So, and Dawn Patrol, the Dawn Patrol flight has lifted off. Now, on the weekdays, we don't have, weekends after Dawn Patrol show launches, then we have the Krispy Kreme balloon glow, where another baker's dozen of hot air balloons, that would be 13 for those of you keeping count, inflate and glow on the field here, but we don't have them on the weekdays. That's again a Mass Ascension Day feature.
Yes.
So there's, as we look out into the darkness, as best we can see, there's just not a lot of activity out on the field right now.
Well, pilot's briefing usually goes about 25 or 30 minutes.
That's why I was asking.
And so I think it should just be, I'm starting to see some truck activity out there on the field now. So pilot's briefing probably over, and those who are flying competition this morning will be coming back to their crew, looking at the maps, looking at the Dawn Patrol. If I need to get to this point on the field, then we're going to go, I want to go here to launch, because they have to pick that launch site at least a mile away. And so they're going to be thinking about that. Do I want to go north and just fly in south, and if I miss it, go around? Or do I want to go south of the field,
go high,
fly over first, and then come back
drop
down?
Because since there is a box today, we know that is an option for the pilots to consider.
Yeah.
Whereas yesterday morning, that was not the case. The only real option in was either to go all the way out like Steve Lombardi did to Bernalillo, which is about 12 miles away, and fly the straight path in, or do what most of the other pilots did, which was go to the northwest and then try and fly their way into the park.
Yeah, go up high, fly over to the east, and then drop in.
Yeah.
Hey, we've talked about having a new sponsor, ExxonMobil, which happens to be the parent company of XTO, who's been our sponsor for the past 2 years.
That's right.
So we're lucky to have them with us, and they actually are joining us on the set here this morning. We kind of have one microphone over there, so we'll let Dina speak for the group over there, because she put the headset on to talk to us. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning. We're doing great. We're having a fun time. This has been an incredible week, and we're looking forward to finishing the rest of it up.
So yeah, we can say we're not even halfway yet.
No, luckily.
Yeah, so is this your first time here at Fiesta?
Oh, no. For me, I've been here. I'm a born and raised New Mexican. So
okay.
I've been doing this for decades, although it is Justin's first time.
Yeah.
And Justin is one of our advisors, and he's just done an incredible job here, handling all of the elements that come in and, running a tent and making sure people come and go at the same time, and everybody has the tickets who need it. That's it's complicated. So we've been really lucky to have Justin join our team here.
So you were in the balloon on Saturday.
I was.
How was the flight?
We saw you waving as we flew over.
Incredible. Justin, Tristan, sorry. I keep doing that. I keep flipping their names between each other. Tristan landed pinpoint.
Yeah.
No bounce, no skip, just stop,
set it right
hard,
down.
Yeah, soft stop. I'd say hard stop, but no. And Justin flew with him the next day, so we've both been able to do that. It's been pretty great.
Yeah.
What's the value for a sponsor like ExxonMobil to be here and be a part of this event?
You know, there's really not a dollar figure we could put to it. It's just been such an incredible relationship. We are so connected to Balloon Fiesta now. It's been really a signature event for us, and we're so grateful. You know, we love it, and I think you guys love us. So it's really this incredible relationship. So really, for us, it's been just a very nice relationship. Good connection.
And ExxonMobil, of course, is a worldwide company. What would be your message to your customers, perhaps why they should consider a visit here to Albuquerque at some point?
Because you can't see anything like it anywhere else on Earth. It's the most magical, just life-fulfilling moment to be here. It's really, it just brings your spirit up. It makes you feel so great. When you see all those balloons lifting up, it really takes all of the weight of the world off your shoulders.
Spoken like a true New Mexican.
Well, seeing the sun come up over the mountains.
And balloonist, she's becoming one.
Yes, yes.
You know, you see that sun coming over the mountain and the balloons lighting up, there's nothing more magical.
No, you're absolutely right. I've been here 32 years, and it never gets old. It's just an amazing feeling when the day starts out doing that. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I'm going to let Justin talk to you guys for a few minutes, if that's okay.
Sure, hand him the headset there. And we'll switch over. So good morning, Justin.
Morning. Thank you so much for having me and Dina over here.
Oh, you bet.
You bet.
So what's this been like? Your first time out here, right?
In fact, this is my first time to New Mexico, and I have to say I fell in love with the state. I can finally see why New Mexico is called the land of enchantment. I'm personally very enchanted, and it's not just the event itself, but also I've been shown what New Mexican hospitality is like, and it's unlike anything else in the world, like Dina said.
So the key question then, are you green or red? Have you learned the difference in that yet?
I have. Your choice is a chili. Green chili.
Yeah.
Green chili or red chili?
Green. Yeah, oh, absolutely green. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the official state question.
That's right.
Green or red?
Like the license plate. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course, then you have the people that always answer Christmas, which is the combination of the two. Are Dina's Christmas? I'm a green one too, so I knew that we connected well over electronic media before we got a chance to do this. How was your flight?
It was amazing. I was in the air for an hour and a half. It was a smooth ride. The winds were very favorable to us, and Tristan did an amazing job. He showed me everything. He showed me what ballooning is like, and he welcomed me into the ballooning community after we landed. You know, it was a little ceremony and got initiated. It was an amazing experience.
So who are the people that you are interacting with as a sponsor here this year? Are they clients of ExxonMobil, or the other companies you do business with? What type of business are you doing while you're here at the site?
I think it's a variety of stakeholders and people that we welcome to our tent and just get to meet at the Fiesta. It's people we do business with. It's civic organizations that we support here in New Mexico, as well as stakeholders from local and state government. So it's a really good opportunity for. Yeah, and so like for this morning, we have the Hispano Chamber of Commerce right now at our 10, so we're really glad to have them there, and we look forward to the remaining events throughout the week where we're going to have more people coming to attend and having a good time here at the Fiesta.
So it's a little bit of, if I can use the old-fashioned word, there's some networking going on then while you're here.
Certainly, and no better venue for that, right? At the Balloon Fiesta.
Certainly no better atmosphere for doing it than right here. That's absolutely true, yeah. So are we looking forward then to, I'll put you on the spot, a long-term relationship with ExxonMobil here?
I will let Dina answer that question.
It's only because of the title. We are looking into it right now. We're having really good, productive conversations with Lori and others. And, she's incredible, and she really gives you a great understanding of what opportunities there are. So I think we're close to, figuring out it's just exactly what that will look like. But
sure.
That, whatever we do, it will make sure to include you guys because you are our shining star.
Well, we appreciate that. And I guess my final question is, would you encourage other businesses to take a look at perhaps a sponsorship level at some that we have many levels available, obviously, but clearly you're seeing a positive impact from your involvement here?
Absolutely. I'll tell you, just the social media hits, all of those things have made an incredible dent for us, and it's been really positive. So we love to do this.
Well, we thank you for being here. We love having you with us, and we love representing ExxonMobil, and hope we can continue to do so. Hope we're doing you well.
You are doing us proud. Thank you.
Well, great.
Thanks.
Thank you to Dina and Justin, ExxonMobil, XTO, all together here, working with not only Balloon Fiesta, but Balloon Fiesta Live. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for your sponsorship. We hope that you have a great rest of the week as well.
Thank you both. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Awesome. Balloon Fiesta
stuff.
Live, powered by ExxonMobil, and proud to be so. And there's the button on the video, and there is our balloon.
So
Balloon
that's
Fiesta
Tristan
Live
McLean.
ExxonMobil
Yeah, that's
balloon.
Tristan that they
Tristan.
talked about. They're the pilot that has flown our camera a couple of days. He's taking care of flying the ExxonMobil folks as well, and carrying the big
Carrying the ExxonMobil banner on the side of the balloon. Yeah.
Yep. So now you can start to see the light is starting to come up.
You can. It's a little brighter on the TV screen than it is in reality, but yeah, we can see the outline of the siestas, the Sandias.
The Sandias are ending their siesta.
Yes, they are, as the sun has obviously risen behind the mountains. It's not yet gotten high enough to be up and over the mountain yet, but we do see sunlight off in the distance.
And the big red balloon we're seeing inflating there would be the Coca-Cola balloon, because today is
Coca-Cola Day. And they obviously then will be the balloon of the day, as
Yes,
is
they
our
will.
tradition that we launch the balloon of the day first off each
With the
morning
national
with
anthem.
the national anthem. And they'll be carrying the stars and stripes, the American flag.
They will. And so we're about maybe a little less than 20 minutes away from that particular point of the morning.
Which point is that?
The launch of the balloon of the day.
Pay attention, dummy.
You know, today, if you're out here, this is also a really great day to get some shopping done. Typically, Monday and Tuesday's crowds are a little less than they are during the rest of the week. So this is a great time, and you've got about 15 or 20 minutes before the balloon activity really gets hot.
And it gets very busy.
And light and busy. I'm looking at the Dawn Patrol over there. I think they're already on a second pass over the top.
Well, that would be good news for the competitors
It
this
is.
morning.
So lots of great time to go out and check out some of our vendors and concessions, get that breakfast burrito, that cup of hot chocolate or coffee, and the donuts, and
those
pick
Krispy
up
Kreme
those
donuts.
souvenirs.
Yeah.
And you do want to pick those up now. If you've said this a number of times already this week, I'll add my 2 cents to that. If you were going to wait till the end of the week looking for some bargain basement deals, I don't think that's going to happen this year.
No, I don't think so.
The material, the merchandise is going quick. Probably some items already sold out over there. You'll want to be able to get those and get them early so that you have yours and you don't get disappointed or shut out by the end of the week. And I would certainly encourage you to pick up a copy of the program and the calendar this year.
Yes.
The program is, as always, pictures of all the balloons, great articles. You can read about the latest Hall of Fame and Heritage Award winners here at Balloon Fiesta. There's even an article in there about how we survived the last really 2 years, having to go through Siesta, how the whole idea of Balloon Fiesta Live still doing a show when there wasn't a Balloon Fiesta.
Balloon Fiesta, and we ended up doing Balloon Fiesta Siesta. I forgot to look in the Albuquerque Journal supplement where they did an article about us. Ranger made an appearance. I didn't. Bingo.
Yes, he did.
I didn't see if he was in any of the photos in the program.
I don't think they used him in. Well,
I
I'd
know
have
they
to go
used
back
the
and
one-
relook.
I know they used the picture with me in the monitor. But I don't think it was the one with the Ranger on my
I don't think so
shoulders,
either.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So-
And then the calendar, of course, we're already talking 2022's calendar now.
Right, which is the 50th anniversary calendar.
So the videos, and there are 50 minutes worth of videos embedded in that calendar. The idea is you just have a little app on your phone, you point your phone at the picture on the calendar, and it comes to life.
Right.
And so there's 50 minutes of video there. Some of that video goes back to the very first Balloon Fiesta in 1972.
Wow.
So it's kind of a little historical look there. So I think that will become a very nice keepsake, and it's certainly a nice souvenir and an easy way to kind of send that to your friends and neighbors and then relive Balloon Fiesta all year long. Every time you change the month, just point your camera at your phone camera at the calendar itself, and go from there.
And you can make plans to be here for the 50th in 2022. Quick shout out as we continue that this morning. Andrew Holly is watching. Good morning, Andrew. And hi, Roma. Roma Holly. And once again, bingo. And here's an interesting comment. There's, let's see, Dina Lee says, tongue twister. Sunlight is setting as the Sandia's siesta. Say that 5 times fast.
Heck, getting it out one time slow
It was difficult, yeah. Sunlight is setting as Sandia's siesta. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. That's rather clever. I don't think I can get it out more than twice.
Julie says you guys did an amazing job with Balloon Fiesta Siesta. Thanks, Julie.
Appreciate
you, Julie.
That.
That was fun to
do. Good time. It was fun to do. Top of the morning. Pauline Baker is saying hello, sending hugs from the Emerald Isle. Wish we could be there. And Pauline, we wish you and Malcolm were here as well. And if you didn't notice, I did post on Facebook and on Twitter this morning. I'm celebrating. Pauline also often gets on me a bit about the fact that I always honor my Scottish heritage and not my Irish heritage. So Pauline, as I posted earlier on social media, I'm wearing my Aran sweater from Ireland, my Aran knit sweater, and my tweed cap from Ireland. So I'm recognizing my Irish side this morning. So, but we wish you guys were here. We miss you, and hopefully we'll see you here this year or the next year for the 50th, or I'll see you back over at back across the pond at Longleat.
There you go. I was waiting for that one.
Bingo. I had to do that. You know that.
I knew. I'm sitting here waiting for
it.
I
got coming. Yeah,
I did. I
your
heard
card,
it coming. I got my card. Got my
punch.
marker ready to go. I was waiting for it. I'm thinking, wait, no, he's not. He's
he's
hesitating here.
But I did not say Longleat Sky Safari. See, that would have been.
Oh, no, there's another one.
Bingo,
double
bingo.
stamp. Double stamp. We just had a shot of the flags along the field here, looking towards the mountain, and the flags are just hanging almost
dead.
Dead calm.
It's going to be an incredible morning.
It is. There's
that shot. Look at that. Yeah. There's no wind today.
It's just going to be.
Which is kind of what infected the gas flight when you think about it.
That's exactly what happened here. Hey, since we have this few minutes here, let's go ahead and preview the competition stuff today, because it's a little bit different than we usually do here.
It is.
We usually, they come in, they drop markers on X's or some triangle, they drop 2, they do things like that, they ring the pole, they throw on the boat like they did yesterday. But we're doing 2 different tasks today, and one of them is one that we have not done here in a while. And so simply, there are 3 X's out there. You throw a marker other than a red or orange one.
Right.
Now, see, they got different colors. So they're going to throw these markers out on these X's. They can throw on 1 X. Yeah, anytime, Steve. The graphics, the X is there. They will throw. There's 2 across the top, and there's 1 in the center.
Right. See the 3 blue X's, and that's a task that's called a multiple judge-declared goal. In other words, the judges have decided where the targets are. So the judges have declared the targets.
And there are multiples.
There's more than one. And the pilot can make his or her choice as to which one to drop on. You don't have to hit all 3.
Nope.
You can drop a marker. If you hit all 3, you're in trouble.
Yeah, right.
You've done it wrong.
You can only throw one
marker at one target, at 1 X. And so it's a multiple judge-declared goal. And so that will be one task where the pilots will simply be dropping a marker, trying to get it as close to the center of any one of those 3 X's.
And the second task is to drop a red or orange-colored marker inside one of those red triangles.
Yes.
Now, when you get inside the triangle, they will measure to the center of the X that is in the middle of all those triangles. So that X is serving 2 purposes. One, it's a target for what you described.
For the multiple judge-declared goal.
And it is the center marking point for all of those other triangles.
And, Steve, if you could throw that back up for just a second. Bring the graphic back up real quick if you can, down in the truck. There you go. And so just so the audience understands, the best possible scores in that task, in the triangles, would be on the very tip of any of those 4 triangles closest to that X.
And they're putting the X and the triangle about 40 feet apart.
Well, and actually, as you look at the diagram, the very best score would be on the tip of the bottom, and I don't know the orientation, northwest,
south,
why
is that
east.
one 20?
Because that one, as I say, if you look, that one's only 20 feet away from the X. So the very best possible score would be right on the tip, closest to the X of that triangle that is 20 feet away. The next
Good
best
catch. I
score
didn't see that.
would
20.
be on the tip of any of the other 3 triangles, but those are 40 feet away. Now, a score anywhere in any triangle or a marker in anywhere in any triangle scores.
Yes.
But the high risk, or the high reward, high risk would be trying to get your marker right on the tip of that triangle that is 20 feet away.
Right, because you could be 6 inches outside and it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work. Yeah.
Doesn't work.
So that's the task, the 2 tasks that are on for this morning, and it'll be fun to watch because we do have a box. So there will be pilots who will come down. They'll say, "I'm just not quite where I want to be," and they'll go back up and come back and try again. Doesn't always mean they'll be better the second time around, or the third, or the fourth.
We'll see how many times.
We'll see how it works out.
So that is the ExxonMobil balloon that we've been talking about right in front of us getting inflated.
Yes, it is.
We see the Coca-Cola balloon towards the back. Our ride balloon's getting inflated farther out. And Ruth Lind is all the way out at the Artisan's tent on the far north end of the field.
On the far north end. Take it away, Ruth.
Neighbors. I lost them.
I did too.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm down here in the Artisan's tent with Deanne Iñakalo Provencio. She's with Jewelry for New Mexico, as you can see here. We thought it would be a good time to catch up with Deanne in the Artisan's tent before it gets way too busy, but she has some beautiful, beautiful jewelry here at Fiesta. Deanne, tell us about your history of coming here to Balloon Fiesta.
So I've been coming here for the last 17 years. It's a great event. We have people from all over the world. I do jewelry, as you can see. It's all sterling silver. I do gold also, but sterling silver, and I have a whole balloon line, and it's all made right here in New Mexico. So I work with stones and semi-precious. So
I love your necklace, your balloon necklace that you have on there. Tom, are you seeing that close up?
I have the earrings.
So pretty, yes. And I bet if you've been here 17 years, you probably have people that you see every year come back to buy from you.
Yes, I have regulars, especially pilots. They come, they know what I have, and they'll add to their collection. They'll bring a present for a souvenir from New Mexico. So they love it because it's made right here. It's easy for them to carry. They don't have to, carry it out. So it's they love it.
And it can go on the plane for people traveling. I know that's always a challenge for people flying to Balloon Fiesta. Well, Glen and Art, Deanne is one of many, many vendors down here in the Artisan's tent at the northeast corner of the field. Beautiful, beautiful crafted items down here for everyone at Balloon Fiesta.
Thanks, Ruth. There is always great stuff out there for you to go out and shop, and great souvenirs. Pretty much anything you would want to find is available here on the field, and the Artisan's tent is a great place to get started to check it all out. So all of a sudden now we're seeing a lot of action on the field as the green flag is up, and it is time to get some cold air in these balloons so that they can be ready to go hot as soon as our balloon of the day is away. And our balloon of the day today is Coca-Cola, because it is Coca-Cola Day here at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. That big row of rainbow riders, what you're seeing there, the yellows with the other colors patterned through those, that is the official ride concessionaire here at Balloon Fiesta Park. That is, if you're going to ride from here, you're going to be flying with Rainbow Riders or one of their subcontractors. And we just saw the Coca-Cola balloon. Here's what it looks like as you're getting ready to put the balloon up. You see their balloon is on its side. That inflator fan right between those folks is blowing air into the balloon. And at some point, they will light the burners up, heat the air inside, and stand it up just like they're doing with the Pinnacle propane balloon right now. There's the burner and the balloon standing up. Pinnacle Propane providing rides and also providing the propane for all of our balloons here at Balloon Fiesta Park this week. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. We are glad to have you here. along on Channel 28, Comcast Channel 27 Community Access, over the air on KNMQ 20.2, of course on Facebook, on YouTube, on BalloonFiesta.com, and boy, we are just everywhere. There's no excuse for not tuning in somewhere. And we do want to thank you for joining us. Remember that all of our shows for all 5 years are actually archived at BalloonFiesta.com. And shortly after the broadcast ends each day, the live show is available for watching on demand. There's one of the new Rainbow Rider balloons, the one with the New Mexico Zia on it. As the balloons wear out, they build some new envelopes, and they just build some as their business expands. That balloon is 275,000 cubic feet inside that envelope. It had, and so the most of our balloons, most of our regular balloons that are flying, somewhere in the order of 90,000 cubic feet would probably be a better average. We have some that are like 105. We've got some smaller at 77,000 cubic feet. But the bigger ride balloons, those are the ones that are going to be bigger so they can carry more weight, more passengers. The Indian Pueblo Cultural Center balloon, the white one on the left side of the screen, that is also I think that one is also a 275,000 cubic foot. It's kind of the next newest one here in New Mexico for Rainbow Riders, a partnership between them and the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. Still hanging at 51 degrees on the rooftop studio here. Oh, yes. People trying to shop online here now that they've seen what's available down there in the Artisan's tent.
Yeah, I'm just searching through my emails real quickly because I was supposed to get sent some additional information on the Cultural Center balloon, and I realized I haven't looked to see if I got that email yet, so I'm doing that just now. So bear with me. Excuse me.
Okay.
Carry on. Back to what you were doing.
Carry on.
Back to what you were doing.
We are just, should be just minutes away from our launch of the balloon of the day. Just double checking my radio here.
Ah, yes, there it is. There's the email, so let's see. Yeah. Christelle Ciarza sent some information, a few fun facts about the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network balloon.
That's not the same one.
It's not the same one?
Nope, that's a different balloon.
Okay, well, when we get to that balloon, remind me and I'll share this information with you. I'm sorry, I had them confused.
Different balloon. Yep.
Okay, all right, well, we'll, that doesn't mean...
I was going to say, why are they sent? But Crystal sent me that as well.
Oh, did she? Okay, all right, yeah, well, good, okay.
That one's kind of a bluish balloon.
Okay, well, I'll watch
Light
for it
blue.
today, and now that I know that I have the information, we'll try and pass that information on.
I'll toss to you, and you'll whip it out and
yeah,
take care of it.
Something like that. Yeah, that's one of those where you'll throw me up a softball, and I'll knock it out of the park.
There you go.
I hope. Oh, yeah. So anyway, my apologies. I am not the first time in my life I've been confused, and won't be the last. Drew Egerton, good morning. Hey, Drew. How many cups of hot chocolate today? Well, only 2 so far, but the morning is young, and hot chocolate is not on the bingo card, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering. Good to hear from you, Drew. Wish you were here. Are you coming out this week, maybe? Going to arrive late? Well, it's kind of midweek already. I guess maybe you won't be here this year. Just checking to see who some of the other folks are that have checked in this morning. Ryan Carlton. Hey, I know that guy. Hey, Ryan. Congratulations on your award earlier this week. Sunday, Ryan received I believe it was a Director's Award from the Balloon Federation of America. Ryan does a lot of great work on our website, bfa.net. So thank you for that, Ryan. Good morning, Brock, from the Hot Air Balloon Database. Good morning, Emily from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dina Lee says, would pay to see you hit a ball.
You're safe. He won't. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Save your money.
Save your money. I'm not sure that could that would happen. Back in the day, I played little league and managed to get a hit or two. But yeah, Probably not something I would spend money on if I were you, Dina. Save your money. Hello from Maine. Simon Paul checking in from Maine. Brenda Ireland says hi to Ryan. So passing that along. Now the sun is coming up, as we can see it beginning to light the clouds above. We have some of those, almost what they call those cotton candy clouds, the little wisp. What do they call those? Horsetails? What's the proper word for those clouds?
And here we go with the launch
Balloon
of the Coca-Cola Balloon of the Day, and our national anthem performed for us this morning by Kat Padrell.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball. No, that's a different thing.
Light your burners. Although many of them have already done that too. They've already stood them up. So we are definitely underway on day 4 of the 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. We are Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. And we are glad that you are joining us this morning. It is going to be a fabulous day. We watched how slowly the Coca-Cola balloon here on Coca-Cola Day took off with the American flag, Stars and Stripes. Drifting a little to the southeast, we've already seen the Dawn Patrol guys get a box and are making it probably a second pass by over the river at this point. So it could be a good day for some splash and dashes in the river as well.
It could be, and we know that's something that the pilots always enjoy. And then you have the folks that operate what are those airboats that are over on the
airboats, and there's kayak tours and all sorts of stuff over there.
They're all designed around seeing the balloons when they do come over to the river.
We haven't been in the river much. Not with the crowds. A number of people have gotten there, but not like everybody.
Well, we really haven't had that wind yet that carries the balloons off to that kind of northwest direction, which is generally when they all line up and hit the river.
Yeah, just all those that kind of missed their lineup coming in yesterday were over the over the river.
Yeah, right. They weren't necessarily there because they wanted to be,
because
they were there because they ended up there. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Got folks checking in. Yes, the best colors in the world, and it's only going to get better once the sun gets over the Sandias.
Just seeing
Yep, here we go. Our Tristan McLean in our ExxonMobil Balloon Fiesta Live balloon. He is now airborne on the screen, and we have a camera in the basket this morning.
We do, looking down at the field.
Here it is as they leave the field. You get to see what it feels like to actually go airborne in the balloon. That fire truck is part of Tristan's chase crew this year. It's owned by Ty Young. Usually he crews with some of our Belgian pilots who haven't had a chance to be here. And so he's working with Tristan in the cowboy hat. You see the Balloon Fiesta Live in the camera looking back down on the field.
There's the captain balloon that is flying for our sponsor, new sponsor, Oxy this year. And there's the backside of Cynthia Seal. And there's the Golden Corral balloon. You can see all from the camera live, from the Balloon Fiesta Live camera, live in the ExxonMobil balloon.
And he's going to come right overhead the rooftop studio.
Yep. Oh, there's a great shot with the banner on it.
Yeah.
I haven't
Wave, Tristan. Wave, Tristan. He's paying attention to his flying, which he should be doing.
Flying the balloon.
He shouldn't be listening to us.
Just job number one. Hey, I've got a message here from Brenda Kalishaw, who says that she tried to come up and see us. Says, sorry to disappoint you guys. You did not disappoint anyone, Brenda. Don't even think that. But that she says, we just couldn't get a steady, favorable direction and didn't have enough oxygen to continue on at altitude. We talked about they were having to fly so very high.
They were on. Sherry told us we were on oxygen the entire flight.
Exactly, and I gather the same probably from Brenda and Brian. My goodness, Brenda, 2 fourth-place finishes, 2 top 5 finishes.
Yeah,
you know,
not at all.
Yeah,
good showing.
Absolutely great flight, and no way you disappointed any of us. We're all very proud of you and Brian.
The idea on the oxygen is that once you go above 10,500 feet, or definitely you get at that 14,000 level feet, then everybody in the aircraft needs to be on oxygen at 14,000. And as we talked about, they were flying anywhere from 16 or 17,000 feet, and they went up high early to be able to get any kind of speed out of here. So probably within an hour or so of their launch, they were putting on the oxygen, and they have to use it. Yeah. Sherry said they used up two bottles. She didn't tell me how big the bottles were, but yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily a case of ballast or weather. It was, in this case, simply they were having to use so much of their oxygen.
Look at the shot back onto the field.
Isn't that awesome?
And Cynthia Seal turned around to watch our ExxonMobil balloon go away.
Look out at the horizon. You can see how the sun is just lighting up the bottoms of the clouds.
Yeah, they were looking out to the northwest.
Now, there are a few balloons. I guess that would be maybe the Dawn Patrol balloons.
That's the Dawn Patrol guys
out there now?
Yep, that's them.
Way out there to the northwest.
So that's what I think you'll see these guys do. In fact, if we look up, the Rainbow Riders balloons are already coming back.
There's the Culture Center balloon.
Right. And the first Rainbow Rider one off was up there as well. So they're going off a little bit to the southeast. They go up, what's that, about 600-700 feet? And then they'll be heading back mostly north, but a little bit to the northwest. I think there'll be a lot of these pilots that are not participating in competition attempt to catch that and get out maybe to the river, maybe farther out to the northwest where there's great wide open spaces for landing. Also out on the north end of the field, Ruth was out there before talking to the Artisans, and just a little bit west of the Artisans tent is another big crowd favorite, and that is the Chainsaw Carving Exhibition. Ruth, tell us about it.
Well, I'm here with Jason of Bear Hollow Wood Carvers. As every year, they have magical, wonderful, beautiful things going on, and they're actually creating the art right here on the field. How do you manage to pull all that off?
Lots and lots of practice and patience. Like you said, most of the carvers here have been carving for several years. We always look forward to coming back to the Balloon Fiesta. There's so many happy people, and we have such a great time while we do it.
Tell me about some of the things you actually create here.
We got Ponderosa pine that was locally harvested, so we'll bring them in so people can come out, they can watch us carve live. We'll take a raw piece of wood, We'll take our chainsaws and finish tools, and you can see behind us we got a torch going, and pieces are created all day long. People can put in orders. People can come buy the pieces that we have in our artist marketplace here as well.
I am curious about something. Has nothing to do with the Balloon Fiesta, but sometimes I see these great big, fat, wide stumps of trees that have been cut off very high. Do you ever do live sculpture on living stumps?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we call them stump jobs, as a matter of fact. And we'll come out, we'll set up scaffolding, we'll carve right there at the folks' home or business or whatever. But yeah, that's a big part of our business as well. We do those on sites.
Where are you located when you're not here?
We are everywhere, but our base is in French Lick, Indiana, southern Indiana. So we're a small business, so when you come out, you're not only supporting the arts, but you're supporting small business. But in a year's time, we do 300 show dates in 22 states. So we're on the road quite a bit doing what we love to do.
Oh my goodness, that's a busy schedule, as busy as a balloon pilot. One more question for you. Are there any special events happening here this week that people should make a point to come to?
Absolutely. Besides the marketplace that we got here and the live demonstrations we're going to be doing, we are going to be hosting 3 auctions. And those auctions are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all at 11 a.m. So you can come out, you can check out the balloon launch in the morning, stick around, hang out for a cool auction, and maybe get a chance to win a piece and take a souvenir home.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful. As it happens, when I'm not at Balloon Fiesta, I'm an auctioneer. So I will have to make a point to be here. Glen, Art, I think we should check these auctions out.
I was going to say, Ruth, I thought maybe you're going to line up another role for yourself here at Fiesta. I mean, already you're with Balloon Fiesta Live. You run the command center for the gas balloon flight, but now the gas flight's over. You could turn on your auctioneer skills and help sell some of those famous pieces of those fabulous pieces of art they do.
It would be fun.
And their art is fantastic. I do encourage anyone while you're here to go down and see it. Years ago, I actually commissioned one of the carvers to create a special piece for me during Balloon Fiesta. And some of the work they do is just, well, all the work they do is just magical. And it's from desktop size to park bench size. There's all sorts of things there. It's great to go down there and watch them work. To actually be able to see them creating the art right in front of your eyes is pretty amazing.
Look at the shot back at the field from our
Speaking of amazing,
yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, you see how big the field is, how many balloons we have.
Look at all the Airstream trailers that are lined up right there.
Ruth was there yesterday.
Yes,
that's the RV parking on the south. There's our parking out on the northwest. We have parking on the north. We got parking all around, and it seems like we never have enough. But what a great shot. You can see how full the field is. And remember, this is only half the balloons.
That's
because
true.
The other half, they've already packed up their trucks.
They're out there somewhere in that picture we were seeing, waiting to find a launch site.
Yep. So all those other areas that you didn't see them. There's Gus T. Guppy.
Yep.
I saw Phillips 66 earlier, too. One of our Jesus balloons.
Got to do another quick bingo thing because Andrew tells me that Roma was sleeping and not watching earlier when I did a shout out to my good and dear niece, Roma Holly. So hi, Roma. Hope you're enjoying Balloon Fiesta Live.
We should make an art one for every time Art says what Glen's supposed to say.
Yeah. Well,
that would make the game more challenging.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Yeah. Hey, that's part of the fun up here, having some fun with your friends who are watching online. Richard Rose says, would love to have something made by Chainsaw. Well, Richard, come on down to Balloon Fiesta, and you can purchase some of the art that those guys create. Karen Chicky Bennett says, I see flip-flop fantasies. Talk about a tongue twister. Flip-flop fantasies. And she says, hey, Terry Dillard. So Terry, your friend Karen says hello. It's interesting, even once people sign on, they're talking amongst themselves. Mark Passan signed on, and a couple of comments later, who is it here? Chad Sekel, I hope that is, says, good morning, Mark. Don Chase, the social media director for the Balloon Fiesta, for Balloon Federation, rather, of America, just checked in and said hello.
Good morning, Don.
Epic shots from on high is Dina Lee's comment about our camera work from up in the ExxonMobil balloon, and yes, it is. Epic shots from on high. Good way of putting that.
There's the Golden Corral balloon with Rex Jennings at the burner.
David Joyce.
And there's the shot looking down.
Yeah. David Joy, again, a whole conversation going on online, says, good afternoon, Mark. Big fan here. I have a set of your postcards and a few of your posters. Mark is a balloon artist over in the UK, and for a number of years, he created our Special Shapes Rodeo Glodeo posters for us.
Yes, he did.
He was the official, and I have a collection of those at home as well. We're hoping Mark will be back with us for the 50th. He had planned to be here this year, and then, of course, the pandemic and the travel restrictions, and he broke his foot, I think he was saying, and so all complications that kept him from joining us this year. But we're hoping to see Mark back over. And since I met him here at Balloon Fiesta way back in the early 90s, he's tied the knot, so he's now a married man.
Oh,
and
wow.
I trust that his lovely wife will be traveling with him when he visits us next year.
We had a shot a few moments ago from our ExxonMobil balloon looking down on the RV parking lot to the south of us.
Yeah.
And there were some empty spots in there. And that's basically because the idea is that you have to have a 3-day reservation. We get people come in for the weekend, and so we're kind of in a transition today as the next set of 3-day people come through.
Yeah. Well, you know, and we get balloonists and balloon enthusiasts who sometimes ask, I want to go to Balloon Fiesta, but I can't be there all 9 days. So when should I go? And I always say, well, it depends on what you want to see. If you're into the mass ascensions and competition, come the first weekend and stay into the early part of the week. If you're a fan of special shapes, come in about Wednesday and then stay for the Shapes Rodeo Glodeos and the final mass ascension. So you really can, if you can't be here all 9 days, then you can break it into either a first part of Fiesta or a second part of Fiesta, depending on what it is that you you're particularly fanciful of, what you enjoy most.
And actually, that area where all those RVs are is the previous Balloon Fiesta Park.
That's
26 or 7 years ago, that's where we were launching from.
Right. In the history of Balloon Fiesta, we've launched out of, 5 or 6 different
This is number 6.
Different sites. This is by far the nicest, and having experienced 3 of them, of the 6 myself. But yeah, where you see that, and the site that's beyond that is where we used to land a lot in what was gravel pits. It's now all been built up. Yeah.
Yeah, all the previous ones are, other than, of course, the fairgrounds is still there, but
of course.
it was too small to do for anything.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Our Balloonmeister, Henry Rosenbaum, has joined us back here on the rooftop studio. Good morning, Henry.
Yeah, good morning, Art and Glenn.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
We've noticed it's a bit more temperate today because you are sans cap.
Yes. Yes.
Had to think about that for a minute, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I was like, what? Yes, but yes, you got me. But yes, it is the perfect day. It's not cold. Look at these balloons.
I know.
Isn't
it
to
awesome?
Start our launch at 7 o'clock with the national anthem. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask for anything better.
And we got a great full field. We got a great shot from our balloon cam. I don't know if you can see. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got to give a shout out to the balloonists and the crews out there for getting all those balloons up, ready to go. They're going to do their launch and be ready by 8 o'clock to clear the field, because then we're going to start the competition.
An interesting task you have today,
Yes.
2 tasks actually.
Yes.
And it wasn't until Maury Sullivan provided us with a diagram of the triangles, and it wasn't until we actually had it up and on the air that Art and I noticed one triangle is 20 feet away. The others it's only half the distance. So that we were discussing where the very best scores are, and that's when we realized the very best score is the tip of that triangle that's only 20 feet away, because the others are 40 feet out.
And it's the triangle that's to the south, which should be the furthest away. So if you feel good and you're going to go for the best score, that's your last chance.
That's your last.
To get a score.
So it's definitely high risk, high reward.
Yes. Yeah. We set it up just for that reason.
That's awesome. We didn't know what the directional layout of those was when we were looking at it, so we were curious about that. That's really brilliant on your guys' part.
And I'll give a shout out to the team that came up with that idea, because we really wanted to make it challenging for the competitors. All that we lost yesterday from the competition side is combining those scores because we canceled it. So we're able to do the 2 tasks today and still have the 4 that will total at the end of the week.
Okay.
Tell us. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Art. I was going to say earlier, Art and I were talking about the pilot of the day or ambassador of the day. Tell us a little bit about that and what it's all about. And is it now ambassador of the day? Have they changed it over the years?
Yeah, there's 2 things that we do. Cameron sponsors a pilot of the day. So the pilots can go in there and put their name in their hat, so to speak, and then Cameron draws out. And then Cameron gives that pilot, it's a random drawing, some prizes and some shows some love from Cameron. But the ambassador of the day, and really that word ambassador is just that. It's somebody that's promoting ballooning throughout the community. And we typically give it to the pilot or the pilot's crew, because a lot of times those write-ups that come in are referring to not only the pilot, but what the crew has done. And those write-ups come from the public out here. It also comes from other balloonists that see something or are aware of something that has happened and occurred. And we try to recognize that person or that group of people as the ambassador of the day from actions they've done, whether it was the day before or several days before.
And so someone who wants to nominate a pilot or team for Ambassador of the Day, how do they go about doing that?
It's really just write a note. They can send an email, but they can drop those notes off at the Sid Cutter to see Jennifer. There's a place there to drop the Ambassador of the Day off. And then also we do a landowner relations or landowner card. So all the balloons when they land have cards, and they fill out the landowner information and they bring it back to the Sid Cutter. And Balloon Fiesta collects that, and then we'll reach back out to those folks throughout the year and just say thanks for allowing us as balloonists to land and also take off in some cases, like today when the competitors are flying in.
Yeah.
But we do draw one of those landowner cards a day and reference them as the landowner of the day, and they do get a special gift at the end of Fiesta. They'll actually deliver it to the house.
Outstanding, outstanding. So just another way that Balloon Fiesta tries to be a part of the larger community here. It's not all about what happens right here on the park.
It is not about what here. This is just 88 acres of Albuquerque that we get to enjoy and landing and taking off and celebrating our love of this sport of flying hot air balloons with the community.
Just like the pilot can't do it without the crew, balloonists and crews in general can't do it without the public, because we need their land to be able to land and or take off on.
Yes.
Yeah,
yep.
It really is a full community effort, and we appreciate all the landowners who allow us to do that.
Yep, and that's why we keep coming back. 500 plus balloons every year can come back to a city and a place like this and the surrounding communities.
It's great. So competition time, we're still going to look at the 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock. We're not going to change anything. We're going to stick as the prescription is, time frame. And
okay.
Start at 8 o'clock and we'll end at 9:30. So I hope you're able to get a chance to go down there.
We'll be down there.
It's going to be some fantastic scoring. Also, go back to the Gordon Bennett Memorial, the 4 triangles.
Right.
That X that's part of that is also the X that they can score on their second target.
On the multiple judge declared. It's one of those, yes.
And it's one of those, and it's at the south. So they could give up a score on the north end as they fly on that task and try to go to the southern target and try to get a great score on that. So we really set it up to make it challenging and let them make some decisions.
So they really have to make a decision on, do I want to go for a good easy score, or do I want to go for the high reward, but realizing there's high risk and they might miss it.
Right, and we've got pilots that can do that. We just saw 2 yesterday that made it into the boat.
Sure,
they went for that high risk. And got a great reward for it.
Yeah. Followed each other in, boom, boom. They were all within a couple of minutes of it. It was great being out there. Got some great stuff. Hey, can you talk real quick about the glove that was thrown out?
I was just going to say, tell us about the glove.
We saw you mention it at Pilot's Briefing, but we weren't listening.
So there are some events, competitions that would allow you to, if you don't have your marker with you, you can put your name on something else and throw that out or put that at the target to take the place of that. You'll get a penalty point for not using the official marker, but we don't allow that here in Albuquerque. So it was a good try, but we just sort of have a little fun with them. So and also let everybody else don't keep doing this.
Right. Yeah. That's not the way it works.
Right.
Okay.
And you talk about the scores from. I keep saying scores, although we're not scoring yesterday's. We did post those results so that they can. Each individual pilot can see where their marker truly was and the distance and so forth. And we sort of said they were getting bragging rights. So we had to come up with something to reward them. And what I told them in the pilot's briefing is that first place, Sean Rea, is like a pole qualifying. So he's the #1 on the pole. So when he goes out here to find his launch site, he gets first right of refusal of any launch site out there. So if he pulls up and there's another balloonist there, they got to let him take the spot.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see how that works after when they report back. We'll see. So
we're looking forward to a really great competition day with the box. The sun is now hitting. The balloons are all over the top of us. And just in, a little over 30 minutes, we'll have the competition underway.
Yep, great. I think Brad's going to come up and talk to you a little bit more about the weather. And
perfect.
We enjoy coming and talking with you and the folks out in the world there. And thanks for having us. And please go down and shoot and broadcast from the scoring area.
We'll be down there.
Art will be down there. I'll stay up here and anchor things from here. And a good time to remind folks that as we do clear the field again today, once we're beginning to wrap up with the launch on the field, we're going to have our scoring team out, and they'll be asking spectators to move to the periphery of the field because we'll be flagging off that scoring area, and spectators are not allowed inside that. So a little bit later, about a half hour from now, we'll get that underway. And when we do, please be cooperative with our scoring officials and move. Most everybody moves over to the east along Main Street, but you can come south to Corporate Village if you'd like, or out onto the western Arroyo, but you just have to be outside of the flagged scoring area.
Right, and thanks for doing that. This sound system that we have on the field this year is top-notch.
Oh, adding that PA system down the west
Yes.
side is really helping tremendously.
And the other thing you can tell the folks, when they're on the east side, the sun's at their back, so they're going to get the best photos.
Right,
they will.
Very good point. You're right,
So,
because
yes.
you'll have the sun at your back. The balloons will have the most light on them. If you're on the west, you'd actually be shooting into the sun, which is usually when you end up with nothing but silhouettes of the balloons.
Yes.
So,
So thank you all for what you're doing. I'm going
Thank
to go
you,
back
Henry.
to the post there.
Okay.
Appreciate you coming by and taking time with us.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
Hope you didn't lose your cap. You're just not wearing it this morning.
Yes.
Okay. Henry Rosenbaum, our Balloonmeister, he and his team are the ones who keep everything operating just tick-tock in perfect shape, and doing a great job so far. It's been a Chamber of Commerce event so far.
And a visit Albuquerque type of day.
It is, yes.
Doug
Absolutely.
Gant just took When Pigs Fly, Hamlet by.
Yeah, he was
you may have
shouting
heard him.
at us as we were doing the
Yeah,
interview.
I think that was him honking at us,
Yeah,
too.
it
Did you hear
was.
that?
Do pigs honk?
I don't know.
I thought they squealed.
Maybe it was just Doug honking.
Maybe it might have been Doug honking. I could see Doug honking, yeah.
He could have. We haven't talked too much about him. So we are definitely underway. We're probably, we might be almost halfway through
I think so.
Our launch of our non-competitive pilots.
Just passing overhead at the moment of the rooftop studio. I believe that would be Tim Cloyd in his balloon. I think it's called High Plains Drifter. I need to check on that. Tim is has just stepped down off of the BFA Board of Directors after 6 years.
Glorious Drifter.
Glorious Drifter, thank you.
I think it looks like a newer balloon.
I think
nope, that's still the 2012.
Is it? Okay.
Just looks, well, because it's in the sun. We usually see it in the dark in Dawn Patrol.
Exactly, it doesn't look as
and
bright.
It's in the sun.
Yeah.
Look at the speed difference right here.
Wow, yeah, down low versus up high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim does a great thing every year. He does a flight for cancer awareness where he does a long jump and people can contribute to his flight. He also does a remembrance of people fighting cancer. You can contribute to that, and has done a great deal of work, raised a lot of money for cancer research doing that flight. So we congratulate him on that, and 6 years on the BFA Board of Directors.
Shot from the north end of the field. There's Wags, the puppy dog, the little bit of appendix of
Greg, our PA, Wags the puppy dog is the balloon I was telling you about. See, look on the screen here real quick. Because Greg was talking about he wanted to get a special shape now of
you were telling him about
his
Wags?
dogs, and I said, well, a friend of mine has it. That's Dean Carlton. There it is, close up. See,
Look
that's
at that. They're
Wags.
even zooming in for you.
And the dog was actually modeled by the artist at Cameron Balloons after one or two of their family pets. And the nose, the little black nose there, is actually three-dimensional. It inflates to give it a qualification as a special shape. So that's Wags. So glad we could show that. And by the way, happy belated birthday. Our production assistant, Greg, had his birthday yesterday. Didn't tell any of us.
Until we were off
the air.
And then it's like, oh, yeah, it's my birthday.
So happy birthday. And Greg's doing an incredible job as our PA, and so glad to have you with us as a volunteer.
New to the team. And
but there's your dog.
Making a difference already.
There's your balloon.
There goes So Grateful right over the top. Mark Harris waving at us.
There's Tall Steve peeking over the balloon just a moment ago.
That was a bingo for those of you who weren't listening, paying attention.
Oh,
the
goodness.
carousel off our right with Frank Campanella.
There's the pumpkin balloon. You know, it is
Pat O'Lantern.
It is Pat O'Lantern. It is pumpkin spice season, dare I say it. I hate pumpkin spice, but it is that season. Right next to them, just getting airborne, is the Plains Capital Bank balloon, otherwise known as In the Buff, with the two Tatanka on the side.
Oh, look at the shot from the balloon. They look like they're having a good time up there. Yeah, getting sunny up there.
Getting a little sunshine. Yeah, sun reflecting in the shades there.
All right, I was going to look and see where they might be, because there's definitely a box. Everybody's coming back over us.
There's a good look at Smokey on our screen. Smokey Bear.
Beth Wright Smith.
flying Smokey.
Yoda.
Come on up here on the guest headset, Steve, and say that.
Good morning.
We're laughing at some comments coming out of our production truck this morning.
Getting a lot because this PA system, the pilots can definitely hear us this year as they come by.
They can, yeah.
A lot more waves and.
Well, and we saw it. We saw the biggest impact in the glows because if we do the commands to the all-burns and whatnot, they really
there's
can't
the river.
hear us. There
shot
it is.
From the air of the river.
The Rio Grande. Not so Grande River. You know, as a Texan, I grew up hearing about the Rio Grande because it forms the border of the state of Texas. You know, and it's not at all what you picture as a kid when you think of, a Grand River.
Yeah.
A Grand River is the Mississippi. The Rio Grande ain't the Mississippi.
It is for the West. Because we just don't have the water that the eastern part of the country does.
Okay, I suppose. But
so for us, it is grand.
There's the Never Forget balloon. We talked about that a couple of days ago.
Mark Comandina.
Multicolored blue patchwork with the sheriff's badge, the police badge, the sheriff's star, and the third one is the Never Forget ribbon on the other side of the balloon.
Yes.
Yep.
There's a good shot of Paddle Lantern, and there's Darth and Yoda
Luke,
together.
I am your father. Fly, I will. Fly high.
Somebody posted a picture where it looked like Darth was whispering in Yoda's
ear.
Yeah, what do you think he's saying?
Yeah.
And one of the comments was exactly what you said. I am your father.
Yeah. May the Force be with you. They're just up over Main Street right now.
Yeah, their launch square is in the northeast corner up that way.
A lot of the shapes end up, that's where we put a lot of the shapes traditionally, in that northeast corner.
And during competition on Thursday and Friday, they'll all be along the east side.
Right.
So that they don't have to put down before the competition starts.
I was about to say, many of them will remain inflated on static display along the eastern edge in the crowd line there. Arabelle the cow is beginning to take shape, being cold inflated over there in front of Smokey Bear.
And there's Cork the puppy, all the way out there in the northeast corner. So from our north end camera.
What's that weather reader say about the wind? Because I'm feeling a little breeze and it's getting a bit chilly. I'm thinking I might put my jacket on.
6.
So we've gone from 2 to 6.
So still 52 degrees up here on the rooftop studio, though.
Yeah, but okay, it shows us a wind. Didn't it show us
that's still hanging in there at 50.
At 50? Okay. It
so
feels like it's getting cooler.
It's interesting that it would be the wind chill factor for most of us. The weather station shows it as a heat index, which is kind of the same.
Yeah, heat index when it's warmer and wind chill when it's colder.
And we're riding inside the Exxon Mobil balloon, looking right up inside past the burner. So when the folks in the balloon look up, that's what they see, the burner and the top of the balloon. Here's one of those triangular baskets. We've talked about Cameron balloons, we've talked about Lindstrand balloons, all different makes, just like your Ford, your Chevy, your Toyota, your Hyundai, your Honda, etc. We have different makes and models of balloons. There is a manufacturer, originally Barnes, then Balloon Works, and Firefly is kind of, Firefly I think I heard was really more of a model of the Balloon Works, but that company seems like it's changed names every few years through the process.
It's gone through a number of different owners.
Which is why you would change the name.
And usually each time a new owner takes over, they tend to give it a new name. So it's the same balloon as far as type certificates and everything, but it has morphed into several things. Time for another bingo moment. Just a reminder, I'm just seeing that we have Puddles, or Puddles 2 actually, Splash, Tall Steve, and Duma, the cheetah, all flying together. And where was my note here?
While you're looking for it, on YouTube they're asking what direction are the balloons going. The joke is they're going up, but the real answer is down low. They are going to the south, then they go up about 500-700 feet or so, and they're coming back to the north. And there is just a little bit of effort when you go. It looks like you go a little bit higher than that. Maybe you get up about 1,200 feet, and you get a little bit out to the west, so it becomes northwest. So There's at least 3 directions in there, and as you transition from one direction to the other, you'll have a little narrow space where you'll obviously have to it'll have a different direction in there.
And my note was that Johnny Hodge and Art Hodge are flying alongside at Fiesta. They are father and son. Johnny is flying in Splash, the penguin, one of the penguins, and Art is flying Duma. And Duma is the cheetah, which is just going overhead
right now.
Duma, by the way, is the Swahili word for cheetah, and it also is the registration on the balloon.
Kind of fun to see the Seasons balloon right between the penguin and Tall Steve here. Good morning up there. Andrew's watching. Do a good job.
Hey, and we talked about throughout the gas flight the tracking app that you could download and follow the progress.
YB Races.
Malcolm White just sent a note that says some balloons are running the Ultra Magic, one of the manufacturers, the Ultra Magic Flight Pack Tracker. If our remote viewers want to see their progress, you can log on and check it at https://flightpacktracker.appspot.com.
You'll have to post that to the chat room well, it's in the chat room there.
No, this came as a Facebook message to me, so yeah, I'll have to try to get it onto the.
Copy that and paste that into the field so folks can.
But yeah, because he mentioned there are 3 that are flying it, and one of whom has just boxed back from Alameda. So it's a way that you can keep track of a couple of the hot air balloons that are flying here. So thanks for that note, Malcolm. Malcolm, again, and Pauline are over in the Emerald Isle watching from Ireland. There goes Terry Dillard in the Flip Flop Fantasies. That sounds like there ought to be a record, Flip Flop
Fantasies.
Yeah.
Timepiece with Gary Moore off the west side, 76 balloon with Jason Gabriel. Off the east side, Infinitude with Jonathan Wolf.
There goes Wags climbing into the sky down on the far end of the field, just using those turning vents to spin the balloon around. And here comes Wags turning around to face us here at the rooftop studio. Dean Carlton flying Wags.
And right next to it, just going off the screen if you're watching online, the red and blue spiral with the black and gold in it, Tom Caius in Dream On. He's right underneath Wags if you are looking at it from the field. Oh, the Cork Puppy is up too. I see that on our screen.
Looks like as the wind has come up, Arabella the cow is maybe not going to inflate because I see the Moo Crew has gotten their little balloon out. There's the Exxon balloon way off up in the sky there.
Center of the screen there.
Shot. There goes Cork the Puppy.
That's kind of the new special shape. We'll have more on Thursday and Friday.
Have more on Thursday and Friday.
That's the one that's here all week.
We don't have nearly as many new shapes this year, though, because our friends from Brazil are not here, and they normally bring a whole fleet full of brand new special shapes to us. There is a beautiful, I don't remember the official name of the balloon, but it's got that beautiful Celtic knot on the side. The balloon with the yellow diamonds and the purple, green, and blue Celtic knot in the center. And then the green, purple, and blue checkered patterns top and bottom of the balloon. Twisted Gator, the orange and blue spiraled balloon coming up toward the officials' tower here. And
so the one with the knot is Not Over.
Not Over, okay.
K-N-O-T.
Yeah.
Al Roush from Macomb, Illinois.
Macomb.
Macomb. Thank you.
Twisted Gator flying the banner for, what does that say? Holly Frontier?
Holly Frontier.
Holly Frontier.
Just another way that you can be a sponsor here at Balloon Fiesta. Pick up a balloon sponsorship. We'll carry your banner airborne every day we fly.
Yep.
And light it up at night every night we glow.
I flew a sponsor banner here once, way back in the day. I don't remember who it was for, but I did. Too many years have passed since then.
There's Tall Steve and the Seasons on the on our feed. And we're just getting them up quickly off the field. 22 minutes away from the opening of competition. So we've got to get through all these balloons, get them in the air. You wouldn't think this is only half the balloons.
You wouldn't think so, because this is larger than most any other balloon rally held anywhere in the United States, when we're launching just, as you say, about half of the balloons off for this morning's flight.
The pilot's being reminded to not climb faster than 200 feet per minute, because we have balloons boxing back over us. They're way more than 200 feet, but just kind of go out nice and slow and easy, climb. If you go a little farther south before you get the box turnaround, that's okay.
You know, there are a lot of balloons here that have yellow in them, because I'm trying to find one in particular, and I'm scrolling through our spotting app.
Scrolling.
And it's like scrolling.
Yeah.
Keep them balloons rolling. And I still haven't found the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, you pretty much need a second or a third condition.
Yeah.
If you're looking for yellow.
I probably should have done that, but oh, there went the not balloon went scrolling by.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yellow is definitely the most popular color in our balloons. I mentioned the other day, there's a lot more red, white, and blue showing up in the list too.
Yeah.
And then a lot more of the multicolor, rainbow color deals where they just have every color up there. Here's a shot down on some homes from our ExxonMobil balloon.
Oh, well.
What were you looking for? That balloon that's way over there?
Well, I don't even see it anymore now, so maybe.
I was going to say sometimes by the scrolling time, yeah.
Well, I was looking for Lee in the balloon Phoenix, because he was flying out, but now I don't see where he went. So he's probably already passed over us in all that time that I was looking for him. There is Cameron Wall off to our left, out over the Arroyo. We've talked about his balloon here, the one with the beautiful undersea seascape artwork. That balloon was created using beautiful original artwork created by his grandmother, painted by his grandmother, and then printed on balloon fabric, and then constructed as a hot air balloon by Kubitschek Balloons. And Cameron Wall recognized earlier this week as the outstanding junior pilot in our hot air competition division for the Balloon Federation of America. And junior meaning only that he's 30 years or younger to compete in the junior world championships. You have to be 29 or younger. You cannot be 30 years old when the competition starts. And so that's for the junior world championships.
Look at the shot, even from the sky. Look at how many balloons are up in the air.
Well, I can hardly see the monitor more. Oh, wow. My goodness.
They're all just little dots up there.
It looks like the monitor's got measles.
So I do see the Moo Crew balloon in the air. I see Tammy Schrum.
Tammy Schrum, yep. And Tammy, by the way, received the BFA President's Award this year at our annual general meeting. She is the editor of our email blast, the BFA Quick Release monthly electronic newsletter. Does a great job with it. And so, Tammy, congratulations on your award as for the BFA President's Award. Well deserved, very well deserved.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday. That was really good. Good morning, Tammy. There's the wave.
In her pink camo balloon. She also has she and her husband Mike also have Ti Amo, the special shaped heart balloon that has the two arms on it, and the hands come down and form a heart. We'll probably see it during shapes, I would hope.
We're scheduled to, as well as La Ristra, the big chili ristra.
Chili ristra, that's right.
Chili ristra, yeah.
And I take a little credit, not for putting the two of them together, but Mike Shrub got into ballooning when he and I both lived in Longview, Texas, working at Thunder and Colt Balloons. Mike was a local resident and came out, got involved in crewing, and crewed for me for a while, and then eventually went on and has gotten very deeply into the sport of hot air ballooning.
They lived in Glen, just south of Albuquerque here for a few years.
They did for a while.
They're now over in South Dakota.
Yeah. There's Scott McClinton in the U.S. Bank balloon out there, probably making his second pass, if I were to guess at it.
He took off from the field here.
Did he?
I saw him go off from the field. So there's the box. That's that pattern that our competitors will try and fly, although they won't be launching from the field.
No, they'll make one pass having launched somewhere else, and if they don't like the pass, like how they're lined up on the targets, then they will have the option to climb high and box back and make another attempt if they're of a mind to do so. What is this little blue balloon that's just launching over on the east side of the field there? Blue with the two vertical white stripes. I like that.
That's the one that you tried to, I was just going to bet out. That's the one that we were talking about before.
Oh, well then.
The Down syndrome one.
Let me get back to my email. So that is the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network balloon. And some of the fun facts about it that Cristel Sarza has shared with us is it's launching from site L4. The pilot is Tony Polito. And, it says, see the release below. I hadn't looked at the release yet. Let's see. Brand new hot air balloon benefiting local nonprofit, the Rio Grande Down Syndrome, which is making its debut here in the skies of Albuquerque. The balloon is a longtime passion project of its pilot, Tony Polito of Albuquerque, who runs the construction firm Cordova Contracting and Development, LLC, dedicated to the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network, whose mission is to empower individuals with Down syndrome and their families through advocacy, education, and support. So well done, Tony. Well done indeed.
There's the Rex Building Supply balloon. And we saw a few minutes ago while you were starting to talk about that, a shot from our ExxonMobil balloon flying over some corrals with some horses. We have a different burner setup, a different valve on our burners that kind of mitigates the noise of the burner a little bit. A whisper valve or a Fire 2, different name. Each manufacturer has a different name for those. And we typically try and do those so that they don't get that sudden blast of sound when we're flying over livestock like the horses. It still gets loud, but it kind of gradually builds up and down. It's not as an efficient flame for us to be able to control the balloon with. Here it is. We're coming in over some trees. We're kind of low and probably looking for a spot to land. And what a great shot coming in over the field, over the area. Homes there. There's a nice open area. But you can see how nice and calm and slow, just drifting over the treetops, kind of keeping an eye open for a place that they might want to land.
Did you say anything? I was
about
responding
Betty's
to
Baby Grand?
Betty's Baby Grand?
I did not.
Well, then we should do that. I was responding to a Facebook message there, but that is Betty Bowens, Mark Bowens' lovely partner, and the beautiful Betty's Baby Grand, the piano keyboard around the bottom of the balloon, and then the musical staff. I wonder what tune that plays if you play out that the musical staff there. What's on the balloon? It's in treble clef, so I wouldn't know because I only read bass clef.
Well, I'm looking at an E with some D's there tied together.
I see a couple.
What I need to do is I need to sit with the. It's in the key of F, because there's one flat on the treble clef, so it's in the key of F.
Okay.
What a great day. You know, this is one of those that you really realize how much we miss this.
Yeah.
When I looked up last year, all I saw was the ceiling and lights. And, you saw your ceiling. And to be out here now, to be able to look up with the gorgeous blue sky and the range and multitudes of colored dots, jelly beans, whatever, just all over the sky. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it is like nothing else in the world. There really is no other place in the world you can experience this. It's just here in the high desert and the air that is so crisp and clean. Wow.
Brad Tiemeyer, our chief weather meteorologist, joins us here on the rooftop studio. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, guys. How's it going this morning?
Hey, you finally got us a great box.
This is amazing, isn't it?
It is.
It's honestly, this is one of the best mornings we've had so far this year.
It is. You know, we talk a lot about the sun coming up over the Sandias and it hitting the balloons and lighting them up. It's interesting because you're against our guest backdrop, and the sun is still about a foot above you. It's just lighting the top of the banners, but you're still down in the shadows.
That's right.
Which is a good place for you to be, is in the shadows.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because it takes usually till about 7:30 before the sun starts hitting the tower where we're at and calling flight ops and stuff.
Yeah, well, come work with us. It's about 10:30 before it gets here.
You're in the shadows just a bit longer.
Yes, we are. We are.
So what's happening with the weather other than this great box?
Oh, it's just a dream morning to be here in Albuquerque. You know, here's what we've got. We've got that drainage wind that's formed in the near surface layer, taking all the balloons south, and then whenever they decide that they want to head back to the north, they just go up a few hundred feet. And we've got the balloon highway up there this morning, and they're all headed north and east up towards Corrales, Rio Rancho, great landing spots up there. And if you look off to the east as well, we've got we've got competitors already popping up over there. So they're going to be working in the field. The target opens here probably in the next 15 minutes. So anytime that they can work their way into the field, we'll have competitors flying in for the next hour plus and change. It's a dream morning. It really is perfect.
It's Tuesday morning, Coca-Cola Day, and when we first talked on Saturday, you had warned us that there might be a bit of a weather system coming through that could interrupt things midweek, and now the forecast looks really good right on through to our closing Sunday. So what happened to that system that was going to pass through here and maybe mess us up that apparently is not going to? Good news, knock on wood.
Yeah, so we still may see just a few light showers overnight tonight into early Wednesday morning. I still think there's a decent chance we could get something off even tomorrow morning as long as those showers don't hang around too long. But everything is kind of shifted off more to our north and west. And that seems to be the favored track for these series of systems coming through. So we've got one coming through on Wednesday and then a second one coming through late week. And then there's a third system that probably is going to bring some stronger winds to our area Saturday night into Sunday. But until then, it looks absolutely great. Thursday looks absolutely fantastic. I think we'll have a few more clouds around, and you can actually see the clouds building to our south and west this morning, associated with that next system trying to work its way in, but it's really not going to have a strong impact on us. So we're just going to have this awesome weather that New Mexico has. You know, that's one of my favorite things about coming down here this time of year is it's just such a great time to be down here. The weather's perfect, and we get these box conditions, and it's just picturesque.
I'm looking at the field, and you were talking about some of the competitors popping up and coming from the east, and I guess those are some of them over there.
Yep.
So how many different wind directions do we have working up here this morning from the surface up?
So the trick is it's not a true box in the fact that they can't fly over the exact same area. So there's actually a progression back towards the west with each pass that they're going to make. So the competitors are not going to want to get too far to the west, because if they do, they're not going to be able to get back and make a second pass if they need to correct or anything like that. So they're all taking off further to the east, and then they'll be slowly inching their way to the field here, get somewhere north of the field and where they're comfortable, drop down, make that pass. As long as they stay further to the east, and if it doesn't work out for them, they can go back up, cycle again, and give it another shot. But if you get west of the field, there's just not anything that's going to take you back to the east at this time that would allow them to make a second run if you're already west of the target.
Whereas yesterday what we saw were the pilots launching out of the northwest and having to go very high to get east to move over the field before they came down. So today, if they get west, they're only going to go further west, is what you're saying.
Yep.
There won't be any coming back then.
Right, yep. But you know, it is very, very close to a box, so really you can make multiple passes. It's kind of fun right now. I just see the Kansas Jayhawk balloon taking off up to the northeast, and everybody else is taking off, it looks like, farther to the south. And both both of those options will work because of the steerable conditions that Albuquerque offers. It's really magical.
Outstanding. Well, we are wrapping up this morning's launch from the field. Our flag team, our scoring team, probably beginning to flag off the scoring zone, and they'll be asking spectators to move off to the perimeter of the field. Most everyone will move to the east, and as Henry pointed out earlier, if you're taking pictures, that's the best side to be on because the sun will be at your back.
Let's let Brad go
okay.
so we can start resetting things. So thank you, Brad. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for
coming. We're going to go out there and covers that, and we're seeing actually Tristan down in the river, basically.
Oh, yeah.
In our Exxon Mobil balloon.
Thanks, Brad.
Attempt to do a little splash and dash here as well.
And we're going to unhook you and get you with our remote crew and move you down onto the field to get ready for competition like yesterday so that you can call all the action from down there.
There's your mighty Rio Grande.
Yes, yes.
You can see the reflection of the balloon at certain shots there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see. They're doing a close-up of the river.
They're so low, we're starting to lose some of that signal. But yes, I'm going to let you take care of things here. And if you need to take a break in the meantime, that's great.
We might do that.
But it's not going to be long before those guys are going to be here. Hopefully they don't get here before we get the target open.
Yeah, I see Guy Gauthier up there already. We talked a lot about him yesterday. So the competitors are on their way in. If you just turn and look over your shoulder toward the Sandias, high in the sky to the east, the competitive balloons are on their way. For those of you watching the remote live feed on Balloon Fiesta Live, we are going to, Art is going to make his way down onto the field with our remote crew, and he'll be in the target zone to be able to show us all of the close approaches of the pilots and see their scoring, just as he did yesterday with the boat. What are you trying to unplug? Yeah, there you are. I hope you, that's the right one. Didn't want you to unplug mine. There's a whole wealth, a veritable forest of cabling up here. So, okay, so Art is on his way down onto the field with our remote camera crew, and we'll get set up in the target zone. There's a splash and dash. Oh, yeah, look at that shot there. Oh, my goodness. Now, there, the Rio Grande actually does look rather grand with its expanse. A little bit muddy, it looks like, and there's a splash and dash. A splash and dash, for those of you who are not familiar with it, is when you're over any body of water, and they tend to attract balloons like magnets, and you take the balloon down and you just let the bottom of the basket, exactly what it says, splash. You just want to touch the surface of the water and then go back airborne so that you splash and then dash. Some pilots who are really good at it, and I've done it in the Red River over at home in Louisiana, you can actually set your basket on the surface of the body of water, be it a river, a lake, or whatever, and then sail the balloon very much like sailing a boat. If you really, really have a good delicate touch on the burner, you can keep just the bottom inch or two of the basket on the surface of the water. You don't want to get it. I've had mine, and it's a long story, as I've gone knee deep in to Lake Powell once, very early in my flying career. That was no fun. I thought I was going to have a submarine instead of a hot air balloon. But you can actually just set the balloon on the surface of the water and sail along like a merry little sailboat. But it takes a very delicate touch on the burner, and it's difficult because as you're coming down over a body of water, you tend to lose your depth perception in your vision. So being able to do a really delicate splash and dash is actually quite a skill. It takes a little bit of artistic piloting abilities as well. So, as I was saying, the competitors are on their way. We're getting the field flagged off. Art is on his way down to the target. I'm going to take a fast break here on the rooftop studio. We will keep the video feed live for you, and I'll be back with you to reset the scene to begin this morning's competition, along with Art down on the field and our remote team in just a few minutes. So stay with us. You're watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by Exxon Mobil at the 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
got some balloons shot for you. Let's see. Oh, they're beautiful balloons. Balloons. Look to the sun. All I see is one. It's bright light. And hopefully balloons.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Those of you on the field, obviously, welcome back to the loud PA system. We have got the field set and ready to go for this morning's competition now. It's really an interesting view from here at the rooftop studio because it's almost like two separate balloon fiestas. If you look right straight as we are at the south end of the field and have a view directly all the way down the north end of the field, it's like there's a sky full of balloons to the left and a sky full of balloons to the right, and right down the center, there's just nothing but blue sky. It's kind of like that song, you know, pilots to the left of me, pilots to the right, stuck in the middle with you. That's not quite the song, but you know where I'm going. But it's really quite an interesting perspective because our Fiesta flyers who launched off the field, flew south, and then have climbed high and gotten into the box. And as you heard Brad say, the box does have a westerly element to it. And they're all off into the northwest, out toward Corrales. Some are down low in the trees, probably trying to get over to the river. And then the competitors have largely launched from the east up against the Sandias and are high in the sky, trying to get that westerly push to bring them over the field before they drop down and try to make a run on today's targets. As Art and I were telling you earlier, we have two tasks on hand for the pilots today. One is a multiple judge declared goal. There are 3 X targets on the field, and the pilots can drop a marker on any one of those 3 that they choose. Now, around the southernmost of those X's is 4 triangles, and each of the triangles pointed in toward the X. So task number 2 is what we call a Gordon Bennett Memorial, where you have a scoring area that is measured from an X, but you don't throw at the X. The object of that task is to get a marker, and in this case, either red or orange. No other color counts, has to be red or orange, into any one of those 4 triangles. 3 of the triangles are located 40 feet away from the X. One, the southernmost triangle, is located only 20 feet away from the X. So the very best possible score would be to get your marker on the tip of that southernmost triangle where it is closest to the target X, which would be 20 feet away. But in order to score on that task, your marker, red or orange only, must be in any one of those 4 triangles. If it's outside the triangles, it's a 0 result. On the other target, the multiple judge declared goal, there are 3 X's, and you can throw a marker. As long as it's inside the scoring area, it will be measured to the closest X, and you will receive a result. The object being to get your marker as close to one of those X's as you possibly can. We're just beginning to see the first of the competitive pilots begin to set up and try to make an approach to the target. You see that multicolored blue and white, multi-shades of blue, I should say, and white racer that is out over the center of the field. He is the first of the balloons who has come from the east and made his way over to the field at least, and that pilot is, the balloon is called Seabreeze, and that is Richard Sabin. Richard is here out of Henderson, Texas, which is essentially just right outside of Longview, and he had begun a descent, and now he's climbing back up. As he's climbing, however, he's also moving further south, moving closer toward us, which takes him out toward the periphery, further away from the targets. Looking at the field, I can see that most of the spectators have all aligned along the eastern edge of the flagging. Good for you. You were paying attention. We were telling you that would be the best place to get photographs from this morning because the sun will be at your back as you're facing the target. And so I think Richard has maybe decided he's going to make another try at it. We'll see. He's gained, again, he's gone back up to altitude. So we'll see what his game plan is. Most of these pilots are trying to move as far north as they can at the same time that they're moving west because you want to try to approach the targets coming from north to south, the north end of the field down where the chainsaw artists are working where that berm is along Tramway Road down there adjacent to the Indian Reservation. And so ideally, to have the best opportunity to score, you would be able to fly the length of the field coming from the north end down to the south. That would give you the greatest opportunity to have a few choices with regard to your markers. If you push too far to the south to begin with, you have a limited selection of targets. So these pilots over to the east are still trying to stay. They're not yet ready to move to the west, so I think they're trying to get as much north as they can before they get high and get into that westerly component that we saw develop in the box early this morning. Again, I'm kind of keeping an eye on Richard Sabin since he's first in to see how he's going to play this. It looks almost as if he's just stopped. Of course, you can't literally just stop in a balloon. You can't get becalmed, I suppose, if there's no wind. A couple of others moving high over here as well. Over the south end of the field, there's that green spiraled balloon we talked a little bit about yesterday. He got pushed way out west over the river and didn't score. Pat Fogue is up there in that white balloon with the green and blue slashes in it, flying for IMTS. Pat is a longtime veteran pilot and competitor, so he's made his way over the field. The great majority of the band of competitors, though, still out over the eastern foothills and closer into the field, maybe up over I-25, trying to get as much north as they possibly can. And so it's interesting to watch and see that. As I say, though, still almost like two balloon events, two separate events, one to the east of Balloon Fiesta Park, one to the west. The sky over the park, largely empty, again, except for just these few balloons. Now, Richard Sabin, actually, he's done well. Look where Richard is now. He has moved significantly more north, and now he's beginning his descent. He's making a descent down in that multicolored, that multi-shade blue racer. Richard Sabin. Art Lloyd Jr., of course, is now down on the field in the target zone with our remote camera. So, Art, let me toss it out to you for your view of Richard Sabin making his approach.
Well, thanks, Glenn. We are out here in the middle of the field, and we are standing actually right at the X. Tom's going to move over to here. Remember, this is a target for baggies that are not orange or red. It's the measuring point for the orange and red baggies. And if we look off just a little bit farther that way, there's the tip of the triangle. That's the 20-foot one. So that's the best score right at the tip of that triangle. As we kind of look back around, we see the other tips are 40 feet away from the center. So those are the two triangles north and south. There's another set east and west of this X here. The other X's are farther out. And you're right, we're watching already Richard Sabin coming in. He's got a good line, I think. We'll see what happens when he gets lowers to see whether he splits to the left or the right of this. And we're going to have to get out of the center of this particular point.
Well, and as you're talking about that, Art,
he's dropping right in.
Yeah, we just had the graphic back up on the screen for our Balloon Fiesta Live viewers, where you could see the outline or the design of the X target with those four triangles around it. One of two tasks. So let's go back to Richard making his approach and Art on the field. They're actually having, I think they're having to move a bit away from the target to be out of the scoring zone. Richard does have a good line. You can see venting the balloon a little bit to slow his descent. You notice how the fabric down around the throat of the balloon, closest to the basket, gets a little loosey-goosey. That's a sign usually that they're venting hot air out the top. Now he's actually going back up a bit, and this is where you start to control your direction by either ascending or descending. You can sometimes move the balloon slightly based on wind patterns, and Richard obviously didn't like where he'd come down. Now he's put some heat back into the balloon. It's going back up just slightly. And Art, just jump in when you're repositioned and ready.
Good sign. Got one right off the bat.
Yeah, as we were moving, I was actually unplugged myself because we're actually plugged into each other, but he's right on the edge of the white fabric.
And I think we just lost Art, but Richard Sabin, I think he was saying he was just on the edge of the white fabric. Richard doing a little up and down, and literally what you're trying to do is just move the balloon maybe a few feet one way or the other. You saw him come down, then he went up, now he's come back down again. He's venting, really to kind of keep the balloon probably right about where he's at, maybe descend just a little lower so he can make the best possible drop on the target. There he comes, dropping just ever so slightly, just out over the scoring area. I guess if I had my binoculars, I could probably see how close to the target he is. I'll try to break them out here quickly while Art gets, we reestablish our signal with Art down on the field. Now Richard's getting that push we saw that developed yesterday over the field. As you come down and get close to the ground, you begin to get a little bit of a southeasterly push across the field. And I didn't see if he dropped a marker or not. We're a bit distant here on the roof. And again, this morning, the balloons, I believe, are cleared to land on the south end of the park here once they have cleared the, they can land here once they have cleared the scoring area. And obviously that's what Richard's doing now, so I can only assume that he did drop his marker, and I just didn't see it. I'm getting my binoculars out now so I can be a little bit more accurate in my commentary for you. And once we get communication reestablished with Art, he'll be able to, I'm sure he was watching Richard's progress. He'll be able to tell us about his score. And so this green and black spiral balloon also made his descent, but he's out over the western roadway, and I think just outside the scoring area. So he may be shortly trying to go back up and make another pass. Meanwhile, Pat Fogue has gone much further to the north end of the field. Pat is in that white balloon you see almost center of the field, up high to the north end. He's coming down as well now. White balloon with green and blue splashes, has the IMTS logo on the side. Another racing balloon, though, here in the center of the field, blue with the rainbow-colored accents, the literally purple, blue, green, red, orange, and yellow. I can't see a banner number, probably on the other side of the basket, but dead over the center of the field, it looks like. And I think we have Art reestablished. Okay, Art, take it away from your viewpoint.
We do. So the blue and the other color racer that just is coming at you right now just dropped a yellow marker inside the triangle and an orange marker outside the triangle. So I think you got the markers backwards.
And so how did, and that is, let's see, that is the balloon called Too Fast to Cash, I think is how you pronounce it, and that is Keith Takash out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. You may know him, Art.
I thought that was Keith.
Yeah. So how did Richard Sabin do?
That was Keith's balloon. So Richard got his orange marker right on the marker. I guess I got that part through to you before. It's right on the edge of the north triangle.
Okay, all we heard was.
It should be scored because it's.
Go ahead.
I can't get close enough to see if the weighted part of the marker, which is where they measure to, is actually on the fabric. But what I'm looking at, most of the marker, the baggie, is sitting on the fabric. So there's a very good possibility that that will be scored inside that triangle. Remember, they will measure it back to the center of the X.
Right. Yeah, we heard you say he was right on the edge of the fabric, and that's when we lost your audio, so we weren't quite sure. Pat Fogue looks like he's beginning to make his run across the target now in the IMTS balloon.
And he's going to be on the east side of the north-south path over the triangles in the X. So we'll watch and see what he picks up and how he decides to attempt this competition today.
It looks like he's right over one of the rows of launch site markers, those white pylons out there.
He is right between, right over those and the kind of inside. There's a piece of field that's flagged off because it's so wet.
He
right
did
along those as well.
He did just throw a yellow marker, I believe, at one of the X's. I saw that come out of the basket.
Yes, and he's wrapping up with the orange marker to see if he can get it into the triangle. you got to be careful you don't get the orange marker mixed up in your lines, and it's a little bit short of being in the triangle.
So he'll score on the judge-declared goal, but will not score on the Gordon Bennett then.
That is correct.
And now we see, Art, as you look up, all of those balloons that were to the east, many of them now have found that westerly component in the upper winds to bring them over the field. So I think we're going to begin to see a lot more action on the targets here very soon.
I think so. I actually see one of the Hartzels that is moving fairly quickly to the south and is actually over, well, almost east of Concession Row.
I see that now.
I'm surprised that now he's starting to climb. So they're going to go back up, I think, and make another one of those rounds. Brad Tiemeyer told us a few minutes ago that every time they go back up and around, they'll move a little more to the west. So they'll be able to go around and around and around, just moving slowly to the west and hopefully getting closer and closer to the X's. And then, of course, our triangles in the Gordon Bennett Memorial.
Well, and actually, I can see all three of the Hartzels up there now. The one you were talking about, the lowest one that's climbing. The other two are a little higher and further to the north. Right between them is Steve Jones and his little yellow-topped balloon with the orange bottom. Also see Mark Sullivan is up there in his racer, I believe, the red racing balloon with the black, white, and yellow stripe spiral around it. You can probably see it there. Code Red is the name of the balloon. You're right. Guy Gauthier is out there in the bright orange balloon, the orange crush color we talked about with the multicolored band around the equator. One of the Remax balloons is out there. I can see Jonathan Wright in his teal balloon with the red and blue slashes on it. So a number of the typical competitors that we would see do well are setting up their approach. High overhead, Art, probably to your left, is Ken Drawn. Ken is in a yellow balloon with red and blue interlocking diamonds and red and blue stripes around the top and bottom of the balloon. It looks like he might be beginning a descent to come down to the target.
He is almost directly over the top of us, and he is not moving any direction. He might be coming down, but there is no left, right, east, west, north in Ken's pattern. He's literally parked there at the moment.
Well, as I see it here on the rooftop, it does actually look, Art, as if he's moving slightly south and slightly east, more south than east, but a very, very slow movement, if any at all. Yeah, I think, and I think maybe that's because he's just. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the ones I do see making a pass on us is the Civil Air Patrol balloon. Ken is now getting a little bit of north and a little bit of altitude.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Civil Air Patrol is definitely on a line in.
I was going to say, Ken, I think what I was seeing from Ken is the movement as he is now ascending, trying to gain height. And we can see the Civil Air Patrol balloon out there and the red racer just beside it now beginning to descend.
Yes, we see that as well.
Looks like the Civil Air Patrol team is climbing again, trying to get a little altitude, maybe move a little further west across the field.
But they have a little bit of southwest in their track right now. So from my vantage point, it's almost like fly it a little bit farther and then drop in. You might have a great shot. All the folks on the east side are going to have a great view of these as they come around. As I look that way, the sun's right in my eye over to all of those balloons.
Yeah,
so we have to kind of wait for them to get a little farther north to actually be able to pick them out. I had a hard time finding the other Hartzels because they were in the sun.
Yeah, to you, they'll be silhouettes because, as I say, you're looking into the sun, and yet we were urging all the crowd to go to the east because that would be the best place to be able to get photographs because the balloons will be well lighted by the sun. But, yeah, you're right. Where you are in the target, you're looking straight into the sun probably.
So looking at that red racer we talked about, coming south, probably not more than 50 or 75 feet higher is Civil Air Patrol going to the west. So there is definitely some steerage low today that there wasn't before. In fact, someone has just let a little pie ball off go from the ground So I'm not sure if the pilots can see that and be able to figure out what might be going on. Now, Civil Air Patrol is dropping, and their direction from the west has changed. So now they have picked up that same south direction. They're going to be just to the west side of the X, while the red racer is going to go to the left side. So so we've got an orange marker coming out of the red balloon, the red racer, and it's inside the triangle. Will Fitzpatrick in Civil Air Patrol has just dropped in the center of that triangle with his orange marker. So back-to-back scores by the two balloons coming across.
I'm trying to get an ID on the pilot in the red racer, but like yellow, red is another very popular color in our spotting app, and I haven't been able to get him pulled up just directly. And it looks like he probably will now be setting up for a landing here on the south end of the field, as probably will the Civil Air Patrol balloon.
The KU balloon going to be on the east side of these targets. Might have a great throw on the X right there, but probably not to our triangles, our Gordon Bennett. The next one I'm watching in is the blue racer with the black and white checkers and the white and red arrows going up and down.
And that is Marty Gauthier in the balloon called Airbender. He's here out of Waterford, Michigan. That is one of Guy Gauthier's brothers, the whole family of Gauthiers.
Yeah. Let's shift a little bit this way, Tom.
The Kansas Jayhawk balloon is pushing to the eastern edge of the field, but Marty Gauthier making a nice approach, it looks like, in his racing balloon. Again, the one that has the red and white up and down arrows on the field of blue and the black and white racing checkered.
There's a yellow one. That one's for the X. It's close. Here's the orange one. It dropped just outside of the triangle.
All right. Well done nonetheless. Marty Gauthier flying that balloon. Airbender is the name.
The X, the yellow marker for the X is going to be pretty good. It's just off the edge. Next one in is this dark checkerboard. And I think that's a tiger on the side, a banner on the side.
The Jayhawk balloon, meanwhile, making a landing here on the south end of the field. I see the Krispy Kreme pilot is making his approach there, Art, on the northeast side of the target scoring area in the orange, multicolored orange balloon, multi-shade orange.
Yellow, about 1 foot off the center of the X. Drop the orange one. So they were perfect on the south triangle, and it was like, I said drop the orange one, and it's like, oh, where's the orange one? Where's the orange one?
Where's the glove?
They threw them too late. They would have had the Gordon Bennett nailed, too. We talked about that short distance from the center of the X to that triangle only being 20 feet, where the others are 40.
Right.
But they were right on it, and so excited with the yellow one, they forgot about the orange one for the triangle.
Oh, no. You've got a whole wave of pilots, as I'm sure you can see now, that are coming from the east, and now they've found that westerly component, and boy, they are lining up and ready to make an approach.
So Krispy Kreme was off to the east. The dot balloon is going to be high enough. He'll drop on the X. He's got his marker out. Then we've got this black one with the rainbow equator coming around. Here comes the yellow one from dot. There goes a yellow one to the X from the black. And he's got his orange one out as well. Waving at us, dropping the orange. Just outside the triangle. Remember that momentum we talked about yesterday?
Yes.
Some of them are not keeping that in mind as they come over these targets. Here comes Guy Gauthier. He's lining up for his now as well. Remember the orange?
Right, the orange with the multicolored bands in the center. And I believe that other racer there with a yellow diamond in the center, Art, if I'm identifying that correctly, that would be Bubba Balloon. That's Bubba Cliver out of Louisville, Texas.
He's going to be a little high, but he's got a great line towards the X and the north-south triangles.
Dot, meanwhile, passing directly overhead of us here on the rooftop.
So I'm watching for a hint of a marker.
And if you look up, I think that's Bubba Cliver who's dropping down in on you now. Again, the racing balloon with a yellow diamond, the reds, yellows, and blues forming the diamond shapes.
So a white marker from 66 and an orange one. The orange one's dead center in the triangle. The white one is just a little bit off the legs of the X. So good scores by banner 066. Guy is going to be a little bit west now. Nice throw on the X over there by Guy. He's going to see if he can wind up, I think, on the orange one. The orange one has to go inside one of the triangles. There's a big wind up and throw. Oh, it looks like it's just outside.
Just a bit outside.
The RV Life sponsored balloon throwing on the X on the far west side. This other racer going to come over pretty close over the western triangle.
Is that the one with the black and white spiral I'm seeing?
Yes, the black and white checkerboard.
Yep.
Banner number 10.
That is
orange one right in the triangle. Wrap the blue up, and the blue is not bad off the X.
And that racer with the black and white spiral is a balloon called Candy Corn 2. That is Travis Gauthier, another of the Gauthier families, also out of Waterford, Michigan. Looks like Mark Sullivan has gotten pushed way too far
Sullivan
west.
And his code red is going to be off the west end of the field. Gary Haven's a little closer. He may have a shot at really winding up to be able to get here. We'll see.
Jonathan
Raggedy Ann's coming through, and Jonathan Wright in the racer chain link balloon.
Right. I was just about to say Jonathan Wright coming down. Now we can see Raggedy Ann, and that is one of the how do you say, veteran balloons here at Balloon Fiesta. It has quite a history, doesn't it?
It does. It does. We'll talk more. They're trying to warm up on the orange. Watch the racer here, the chain link one.
That would be Jonathan Wright, the teal racing balloon.
Here's the throw for the white. Bounces in towards the X. Remember to throw the orange. And there it is inside the triangle. So a good score for Jonathan Wright. Yeah. He's excited. He's doing lots of flicker burns as he kind of comes in over the field. Steve Mezzincello and Remax has slipped down the east side while we were watching that. I'm not sure what Steve might have thrown on his baggie and his marker.
I was watching all the excitement over on the target you're at as well. I see the Remax balloon center field now, but I didn't see what kind of a marker drop he might have done.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? They all come through 3 or 4 at a time, and then there's this little gap of a few minutes, and then there's another 3 or 4 come through. Even with all our cameras, it's tough to keep track of all of it.
Well, one of the balloons approaching you now, that racer that has, another black and white spiral separating shades of blue and green and yellow and orange, is the balloon called Pixicle, and that is Alan Anderson here for his 9th year out of Minden, Nevada. And Jerry Copas is dropping in on you as well. He's in the round balloon with the white band in the center and then the multicolored checkerboards around the top and bottom.
The two balloons you just described are going to split me. Jerry on my east and the Pixel balloon on our west.
Well, and from our perspective on the roof, Art, we're seeing what we saw yesterday. The round balloon getting the push to the southeast and the racers moving more to the southwest.
Jerry just had a great job drop on the X that's out on the north side of these targets. Let's see if he attempts to throw towards the triangle. Does not look like he's going to attempt that. He looks like he's going to land, and the racer is going high. I think going to make another pass.
One of the first of the Hartzels is dropping down out over the north end of the park. He should be coming at you shortly, while another one is up high at the north. And I don't see the the third is still way out to the northeast. And we don't identify which because we don't know. There's Rhett, Lucas, and Joe, and we're not always sure which one's in which balloon until they get close enough for us to see them.
I think this first one coming in does have silver on the stars.
Well, then likely it's either Joe or Rhett. You'll have to wait till you can see the pilots to identify them.
Mostly red, almost racer shape with white and blue checks. Looks like they're going to drop on the X that's over on that side of the field. They have a light colored marker. There's his throw. That'll be measured to the X that's out that way, getting the orange marker out. And there's the throw. Inside the triangle.
So scored on both tasks. Good for him. I was just trying to get an ID on that balloon for us.
Okay, so no hat on the Hartzell with the silver stars.
So that would probably mean it's Rhett, I believe, if I've got my balloons correct.
Rhett.
Rhett is a two-time U.S. national champion.
Let's see what his strategy is here. He's got a decent line.
Yeah, Rhett's a two-time national champion. His father, his father Joe, rather, is a five-time U.S. national champion.
Nice throw inside the triangle.
I see Zarek Wells out there in Guilty beginning to make a descent. The bright yellow balloon with the yellow with the black mustache. Chris Sabia out there in Spot the Wonder Bread balloon as well.
Humpty Dumpty's out there as well.
He is. Another Hartzell now at the northwest corner there. Looks like he's coming toward you.
This must be Lucas because there's no silver.
That's our guess anyway, as best as we can tell. I see Sherry White high overhead. She and Mark are both back from their gas balloon flight and flying in the competition. We saw Mark earlier in his balloon Code Red. Sherry is high above in the Touchstone Energy racing balloon, white with bands of primary colors around the top and bottom.
We have 5 racers coming in all at the same time here. 4 of them clustered right up, the Wonder Balloon right behind them. So we're going to get pretty quick here, really, and they all have a great line.
Well, the yellow one obviously is
from about to hit the ground. Oh, he saved it, but he had a great throw on the X. Let's see what happens here.
Zarek Wells in the yellow one, by the way.
Coming in.
Yellow with the mustache, called Guilty.
Okay. Great throws by Zarek. He dropped a white one on the center of the X and his orange one inside the triangle. The orange with the white and black spiral, I think, got the baggy colors backwards. A wind up from the green and yellow with the black spiral, trying to get the orange one inside the triangle. There it goes, inside the triangle.
Oh, awesome
Wonder
camera
gets a
work.
Good drop on the X.
Awesome camera work, too. We saw the pilot wind up and follow the marker all the way into the target.
So Rich Sabia in Wonder dropped on the far X. He's about to wind up his orange one. Actually, he's just going to throw it. And it didn't go inside.
And that's Chris Sabia.
Chris, sorry. Rich did get a drop on the X farther out. Now he's going to come right over the triangle. Mojo, the blue and yellow with the yellow pennants, who's overhead, has dropped on the triangle, and it's outside the triangle. Rich Lawhorn just being able to drop that X right inside the triangle with his orange one. You've got the teal with the zigzag purple and pink throwing the orange marker. It's inside the triangle. He's now throwing his white one.
That's the balloon.
The regular shaped balloon with the Kiwanis banner on it.
That
He's going to go right between. He's going to get right over the triangle on the west side. He's going to throw the blue marker first. Not bad. And then here's the orange one, and it's inside the triangle.
That little teal balloon is the one we were watching forever yesterday, way up high, probably coming down for a landing now. That is TJ's toy, and the pilot is Rick Goosley.
Yeah. He'll probably do the orange here.
Rick Goosey from Pleasant Hill, Missouri.
We just saw the red, white, and blue balloon throw on the X, and now he's winding up on the triangle. That's in the triangle, so good scores for the red, white, and blue with the big white stars. Eric Greenwood is coming in with New Mexico Tech, the yellow one with the state of New Mexico red on it. He is thrown on the X, getting his orange balloon, his orange marker ready. There's the windup. There's the throw. Oh, just outside the edge, even with a little vocal encouragement to get there.
Dosek is just passing over the roof.
223 is the 223, the rainbow-colored regular-sized balloon. Oh, I was going to say I saw him throw the marker, and then he went in the sun. He got it caught up in the ropes, and it bounces just outside.
One of the Hartzels
Black and white checks.
One of the Hartzels made a very rapid descent to
just
you.
Dropped on the X. This will be Joe Hartzell right behind him. We'll watch and see. Joe's all of a sudden going back up. He's got the orange one out. There it is. It's in the triangle. Here's wind up with the white one. The white one's coming out. Remember, the white one gets scored off the X. We've got another one coming right at us. This pink, purple, blue, yellow with pennants going to come right over the top of us. And right over the X's and triangles. There's the orange inside the triangle. That's banner 150. And the yellow one just outside the legs of the X. So good scores for 150.
Also down there is Steve Jones.
The racer on the far.
Yeah, that's Steve Jones, the yellow top balloon with the orange around the bottom. Steve Jones out of Belton, Texas.
Yeah, we have one on the west, one on the east, and Steve in the middle. I don't know if Steve's going to go around again or not.
Well, he's going up pretty quickly, like he's trying to gain some altitude, like he might be trying to make another pass without getting pushed too far west. The two other Hartzell balloons are up high, but they are now kind of to the west. They may not be able to get back around for another attempt.
Remember, that's what Brad told us would happen. Every time you made a pass, you'd be a little bit farther to the west, that it was going to be tough to get back to the east or come back on the same line you had the first pass.
Right, and if you're going to do that, you've got to get high quickly so you don't get pushed too far to the west. And that looks like what Steve Jones is trying to do, because his little racer is deforming as it's climbing into the sky above us here at the rooftop. So he's trying to get up and get to altitude before he gets slid too far to the west.
He would have had a great line on the triangles, but he would have been pretty far off the X at the direction he was moving coming through here. So I think he's going to take the chance of having time. I mean, we still have about 40 minutes left in competition.
And still a lot of balloons to come.
The red, white, and blue one dropped on the far north X. Let's see what happens with an orange marker. Here comes an orange marker. We can really see the drift, and it drifted right outside the triangle.
A couple of the balloons coming to you shortly. Art is Joe Zavada is out there in his black and yellow spiral balloon with silver accents. Just looks like maybe just in front or behind. I can't quite tell from here. Will be Sean Rea in the Solaire balloon. Now Sean was, I think, in first place on yesterday's task of the Sid Cutter Memorial. Also out there, Justin Wilkinson in the oh goodness, what's the new Apple? Cosmic Crisp, I think it is.
The Crisp, Cosmic, yeah. And so Joe is going to drop in front of Sean, so we'll see Sean follow Joe in probably. And then there's a regular shape kind of in the mix there as well with yellow and green checkerboards and a big old splotch of maroon.
Yeah, that's a Lindstrand pattern, but I don't know which balloon that is. I'll see if I can find out for you while we have a minute.
Definitely a lot of balloons still working their way around to try and get in here. So Joe seems to have a nice straight one. That again is the spiral pattern of the racer coming in, while Sean in the Solaire one, the checkerboard pattern, seems to be moving off to the west. While the regular balloon still has that west, it didn't get the east like has happened on us, and is actually probably in a slightly better position. We need 3 sets of eyes and cameras to be able to keep up with them all.
Yeah, and 2 researchers to be going through the spotting app while we're doing all of this.
So Sean should have I don't know if he's going to throw on that X or not. Doesn't look like it. Now Joe's going to be closer to that X. While the Lindstrom's going to come right down the road, right down the center of everything. He's got an orange marker in hand. And that's down inside the triangle. A blue one, wind it up and try and get loose. And Joe gets his orange marker inside the triangle. Joe Zavada in the black, gold, and silver spiral. And next in, Cosmic Crisp Apple. Although on the far east side, the Firefly orange spiral, dropping a light colored marker towards the X. He's got his orange in hand. Got a good wind up. And it's short. But watch Cosmic Crisp come in. And the full-size vertical rainbow patterns with the orange equator right behind them. Looks like orange marker in hand for Cosmic Crisp. There's the throw inside the triangle. Blue one. Purple, actually, now that it's hit the ground. But this next one's going to come right down the center. Orange one in the triangle. He threw a yellow one in there. Unfold the orange one. The orange one in that triangle. He thought it was a double drop, a minimum double drop.
Yeah, because you could only get one marker in one triangle, correct?
Well, I suppose the yellow one will just be scored as off the X as being part of that. So drop it early, and they give you time to drop on the second triangle, which is the one that is shorter, that you can be a better score. We talked about that 20 feet off that one versus 40 feet away on the other three.
Right. Nick Donner is out there in his racing balloon. It is the orange balloon, kind of burnt orange actually, with the black, white, silver, and then orange in the center diamonds on it. He's out over the northwest corner, climbing now. Looks like he may be trying to adjust his position somewhat.
He would have been too far west.
Yeah, and the problem is now is can he get up high enough, quickly enough to get east without going, looks like he's actually moving further west. So going to altitude may not help.
I am looking up at two of the Hearts of Balloons that are up there. Steve Jones that is up there.
Yep.
The Krispy Kreme balloon that is all up there. And I think that might be Ron Sanchez in the red and white We Go balloon, sponsored by Bubba's. They do seem to have just a very slow track to the east. So they might be able to ride it out and have enough patience and hopefully enough time to get that east to make another pass. Nick has not climbed high enough. He's still moving to the south.
He's moving south and west now from us, and up above him is the Dos Equis balloon, which not too long ago crossed over the roof, but to our east. So he's moved well across the field as he's gained altitude.
Nick is now climbed up high enough that he's now going up and will soon be following the Dos Equis balloon. I think he waited as he needed to, as the balloon above has the right of way. He waited for Dos Equis to get over to make sure he was clear, because Nick's direction just turned to the north. Does have a west in it still, though.
Well, and he's also, I'm watching the throat of the balloon, he's also venting a little bit, like he may want to drop his altitude just a tad. Or at the very least, level out where he is.
So still a lot of maneuvering going on out here. We're going to have a multi-shade of blue, the Viva camera, and Viva is the pattern that gets that very bulbous look. He's going to basically be over the crowd line on the east side of the field. He did throw, and it's in the scoring area, so that'll be measured off the X.
Whichever of the three X's he's closest to.
Yes. I think the north one.
I think I could see the Mission Linen balloon out there now, almost directly center north of the field, bright yellow, with a starburst on either side.
Yes, you do. If it follows the west pattern, he'll be in great shape, but if he catches the east pattern coming over the field, he's going to end up too far east, and it looks like he's getting the east pattern. As is the other full-size balloon that's going to get here first. I'm keeping an eye high overhead as well. We have a yellow and blue checks with the vertical red stripes. They're in a good shape, except that they're so high, they'll have to really adjust the drop or the throw to hit the targets.
Well, and remember,
they may or may not throw from there. We'll just have to keep watching.
Yeah, and remember, as we discussed, if you drop from that high, as the balloon, as we're looking at that balloon, he is moving east to west. As the marker falls, it also is going to fly. Well, it's going to soar with the wind.
It's actually moving faster than the balloon.
And probably moving west based on the wind flow.
All right, we're going to have a throw. There's the orange, nice and easy, right into the tip of their triangle, and the blue one, nicely done. Mission Linen did drop over on the X as it comes down the east side of the field.
Our friend Don Chase posted a note to me yesterday that when we're doing this competition, we almost need a telestrator. You know, that's what they use on NFL football games to diagram plays and the routes receivers ran, and we could diagram kind of where these balloons are going and what they're doing. That would be a nice addition to Balloon Fiesta Live, although I'm sure telestrators are not probably within our budget.
I'm not sure we'd be able to keep up any better. Now we're trying to see and draw it as well. So
I know.
But it would be a great idea.
I'm not sure that our drawing would be very legible.
Yellow the green, blue, yellow spiral just dropped on the far north X, as did the yellow, blue vertical patterns. This racer coming through might have a great line right down the center. Seems to have a little bit of that east direction, which should bring them right over the center of everything.
By the way, that multicolored,
nice and low,
that blue Cameron Viva you were talking about, one of our viewers, Joseph Filler, says, "Let's go Banner 45, light blue Cameron Viva, baby blue, piloted by Charles Blair of Delaware, if DE is correct." So baby blue, the name of that balloon we saw earlier.
Our mostly orange racer. There's the orange right in the triangle. He's got a white one. Figure it out. And there's the whip in the throw. Again, the white one will be scored to the X. The orange one will be scored from the X, but it has to be inside the triangle to be able to be counted. I see Blair Kaufman in his red, white, and blue Stars and Stripes balloon coming in, followed by Ralph Kaiser in the white verticals, alternating with the pinks and orange. So we're going to have another batch of 3 or 4 coming in. Mike Voorhees in the black balloon over on the east side of the field, dropping on the X. The Psionic.com balloon. So Blair in the red, white, and blue might be a little west. The full-size yellow is going to be to the east. And the checkerboard racer is going to come down the center of the road, followed by Ralph Kaiser. So Blair's winding up on the X for this, flying the CNN banner. Getting ready to do his orange in the triangles. Not there. The yellow with the stair-step rainbows going up, dropped on the X, and is going to get on the, yep, it stayed inside the triangle.
One of those about to approach in one of those 2 racers look very much alike, kind of a red, yellow, blue spiral with black and white spirals. The second of those, the most northerly, has the RNS Power Sports banner on it. That's Steve Lombardi. And as you know, yesterday, he launched out of Bernalillo to fly in and got here just a few minutes after they closed the scoring. So at least he's on time today. And right next to him, that yellow balloon with the pink and teal lattice work around it, the 2 bands of pink, that is a balloon called Almost There, and that is pilot Anthony Haynes out of Houston, Texas.
We just saw Ralph Kaiser drop close on the X and definitely in the triangle. The first racer, not the RNS. He's going to drop first. Looks like yep, he's got white in one hand, right off the center of the X. There's the orange in the triangle. Good score there. So here comes the purple marker from the yellow balloon. They both have, whoops, they both have their orange markers out. Look at that, coming right overhead. One in one triangle and one in the other triangle. Another one going to come right down the road, yellow with the multicolored darts going around. He's going to come right down the center here, and a racer's going to drop in right behind him. So they'll drop the blue one first. Oh, sorry, they did a double team. One of the passengers dropped the orange one out, and the blue one on the center of the X. Nice job. Banner 42, right behind him, number banner 60. There's the purple going in. There's the throw. Oh, and it didn't go inside. The big band's here. The one that just hit the ground.
At banner 42, you were talking. I'm sorry, Art. Banner 42, you were talking about the yellow with the multicolored spires and diamonds. Hermosa. That is Alex Bartra from Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
Banner 90, this multicolor just threw on the X. They're dropping the orange one almost in the center. And now coming at us, Michael Glen. Michael Glen and his two-seater Chariot.
Michael, known as
we could shake hands here if Michael wasn't busy flying. Yeah, there you go.
Michael, known as the rolling pilot because he is the only paraplegic pilot here in the U.S. Billy Adler from Longview just passing to the east side of the targets in his red, or rather green, yellow, red, and blue balloon. He's landing here at the south end.
So Michael had a great throw on the X, a safe throw into the triangle. So he'll have a good score on both of those as well. Wow, take a breath for a second because the next batch is about to be here.
In that next batch, by the way, Art, the red and blue racer with the white lightning strike down the side of it is going to be the balloon called Bolt, and that is Jim Cusick out of Marysville, Ohio. You can see him just to the north and slightly west at the corner of the field.
Yep, he's on the north end. Before that, the blue with the white just dropped his yellow marker on the X. We'll see what he does with an orange one. I don't see anything coming on an orange one. So the other racer, orange and yellow, just dropped on the X, on the northern X. Will be close enough to attempt a throw of the orange. Got it tangled up in things. See if they got it wind up. Let it go. And, oh, it's about a foot short. There's an orange marker from the regular yellow. It's outside as well, and now we'll be able to take a look at Bolt. Getting ready to throw the lighter color one on that northern X. Boom. And now get ready with the orange one. Probably going to have to do a wind-up. There it is. And it went up into the balloon. It's down in his hand. Try it again. All righty.
Let's see now.
Dave Eichhorn in the yellow Visit Albuquerque balloon coming down the west side of the field. There's his throw on the X. And the black with the alternating rainbow color is going to come high over the east side. He's got his markers in hand. There's the orange throw, playing the momentum well. And it drops right into the triangle. Good job. Here comes the lighter one, which of course will get measured to that center X. So a good play. Fly it high, throw early, let the momentum take it to the target. There's still a number of people working their way. The Hartzell balloons have come back down low. And if you look, Glenn, they are off to the west. One is pretty far towards the river. The other was going to come down the west edge of the field, just off the west side. So the ability to get far enough east to make that true second pass, not quite there when you come over at dead center the first time. Should have a nice pass here by this multi-blue, white, and black. Practicing the windup. There goes the white one to the X. And the orange one, oh! Bounced outside the triangle. A drop by the rainbow-colored checkerboard. Dropped on the X. Throws the orange one out, and it's short. A little zig with the checkerboard racer, going to be down the west side. That looked like a great throw on the X. Looking to throw the orange. A wind up. And overshot it. Overshot it. Lots of white zigzags going around the equator on this regular size balloon.
That is Ken Walter out of Wisconsin.
He's going to be a little east. We'll see what he attempts to do. There's the throw on the X. The X throw looks good from here. Getting handed the next marker by his assistant. Don't get it caught in that rind. Oh, and it's about 6 feet short of the triangle. There's Ken drawn, and that would be Joe Hartzell on the far west side. They're going to just too far west.
We are seeing a little breeze pick up again late in the morning this morning. We're seeing 9 miles an hour on the tower here on the roof.
Should have a great pass by this blue verticals, alternating the red and yellow verticals. There goes the orange. And the white did not play the momentum well. The orange went too far, and it's outside of the triangle. That said, they made it to the target, and they had good throws. There's an orange coming down inside from the black with the greens and the pinks, and a decent throw on the white for the X.
Out of the northwest corner there, Art, is Billy Broker out of Plano, Texas. That white balloon with a red, blue, and white spiral around it. A little up high and to the right of him is Pat Harwell from Keithville, Louisiana, in Maverick in the royal blue balloon with the Mardi Gras spiral, green, purple, and gold in the round balloon.
And what we haven't seen in a few minutes is the direction to the southeast. Everybody that's come over recently is going west, but Billy and Pat both have a little bit of east up there.
Well,
the balloon we're seeing right here, yellow with the black and white diamonds, just had a great throw in the triangle and a good one for the X. So Dunkin' Donuts is in the middle of this mix as well.
Is Dunkin' Donuts that yellow balloon with the kind of orange spiral around the center? Actually, that is...
so Pat drops from high.
That yellow balloon with the orange spiral kind of in the center of it, Art, round balloon, that is high maintenance, and that is Kelly Cook out of Greenwood Village, Colorado. Right above Billy.
So he's got one marker in his mouth. He's got another one sitting on the tank.
Who are you talking about, Billy?
Billy. Here comes the white one. And the orange one. Oh. He got it caught up, and it's too far out.
Look out. Heads up. Pat Harwell bringing Maverick down to land now. Again, that royal blue balloon with the Mardi Gras spiral on it. Billy moving his way over toward the crowd in his white racer with the black, blue, white, and red spiral from the city of Plano. He's just set down as well.
There's a nice orange drop into the triangle, and actually you see one of those white memorial marker banners, strips hanging from the side of his basket. We do those on Sunday, but many pilots continue to fly those throughout the week in memory of those family, crew, pilots, other folks in their lives that have passed on.
Do we know who's flying the Fiesta balloon today? Do you know off the top of your head? Because they're up very high.
I think it's Ray Bear.
Okay. Up very high, but
it's Ray Bear.
Just beginning to make a descent now. You can probably see them from where you are.
Yes, I was watching him come around. I'm seeing one of the two Al Lowenstein balloons. Multicolored checks with a big yellow sunrise, if you will, on them. Not sure who's flying which one. One of those dropped on the X. And the next one that's going to be here with us is the teal balloon, aqua balloon, with black and white on the top and the bottom.
Time is beginning to become an issue as we're about, by my watch, which is unofficial, about 11 minutes left in the scoring time. So some of these last few pilots are going to need to start making their way here. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about a baker's dozen, 13 balloons it looks like still in the air that could still score.
So the teal one with the black and white dropped on the X. A little ways away, but definitely got there. And now here comes the throw, the orange for the triangle. Oh, a little short. Red, white, and blue. That might be Craig Pendleton on the west side of the field. A little far away, but it does look like Craig throwing off on the X. He's going to need an iron arm throw to get the orange.
So Ray Bear, if he is flying the Fiesta balloon, he's begun to descend out over on the northwest corner, and up a little higher just behind him is the New Mexico tartan balloon. Jeffrey Ashworth out of Corrales is up there in his tartan racer. Tartan, bingo. Also,
big throw from the neon colors on the east side.
Also out there, Art, is Steve Jones, who has managed to, we talked about him earlier, managed to box back around for maybe another attempt if he gets here before the clock ends.
Mostly blue at the bottom and the rainbow colors at the top. Looks like banner 157. They're waving at us. Or trying to move the air to get over to the target. There's the throw of orange. Nice shot into the triangle. Throw the other one at the X. There it is. Good job.
Actually, Art, what we can see setting up here, looking at from the roof, as that you're watching that blue balloon with the rainbow top, the pilots seem to be moving over to the northeast corner, then dropping down, northwest corner, sorry, dropping down, and then they are using that southeast push to come right across the target zone. If you see the Fiesta,
we saw
Fiesta
that
balloon
start with Pat Hardwell come across.
Yeah, well, the Fiesta balloon is following the blue rainbow balloon that threw a moment ago. Fiesta balloon following it. That other balloon with the white diamonds in the center is behind him, and then you see Jeff Ashworth. He's lining up behind him. So they're all lining up almost like a freight train and following that northwest to southeast push into the target zone.
Yes. And off to the east, yellow at the top with the orange at the bottom, same pattern. The problem is he's a little farther east.
And that is Steve Jones.
But this is Ray Bear flying. Now he's close enough we can see.
I was about to say, you can confirm if it's Ray because you should see him by now.
It is. He's ready to drop his orange. Inside the triangle, very nice. And there's the white from his passenger. Very nice on the X. That's going to be a great pair of scores. Ray Bear flying Fiesta. So I think this one with the white diamonds and the blue and the yellow might be Nolan Schuler from Colorado.
Ray Bear, by the way, received the one of the many Fiesta folks who received the Ed Yost Master Pilot Award earlier this week on Sunday from the BFA for 40 years of flying excellence and safety. Ray also a past president of the Balloon Federation of America. And I think Art on the board of directors here at Fiesta, if I'm correct.
He is, and he just recently retired from being a DPE, a designated pilot examiner. One of those folks you have to take a check flight with in order to get your pilot certificate.
And I think it's Sunday they said he had given over 500 check rides in his career.
I believe that. So Steve Jones is going to get his orange marker out. And it's right in the center almost of the triangle. Banner number 99 to confirm that. That is Nolan in the blue-yellow one. He's got his orange marker in the triangle. And here comes Jeff now.
Yep, Jeff in the that balloon that has the bright yellow and red stripes on it is actually an artistic replica of the official state of New Mexico tartan. Bingo.
I left my card on the roof. I can't play no more.
Oh, no.
We've got a light blue, a dark blue with pink regular shape coming in right behind Jeff in the New Mexico Tartan Racer. They're going to drop on the X while Jeff gets ready to, he's going to go by the first triangle. So here comes the white marker. Boom, right on the center of the X, right on the triangle, the corner of the triangle. Nice job, Jeff. And while we were watching closely there, the blue one with the pink and the light blue at the top, they managed to drop theirs. Orange one inside the triangle.
And Jeff's balloon, by the way, does have a Gallic name. We just can't pronounce it, or I haven't figured that out. I'm going to make it my mission to figure out how to say that properly.
Good luck.
Well, I know a little bit of Gallic, and if I can find a pronunciation, I'll be okay.
Glenn, this place is covered with baggies.
I can imagine.
The triangles are full of them. There is a pile of them all around the X. The scorers are going to have their work cut out for them today.
Well, and the pilots probably are absolutely thrilled after yesterday's scores were thrown out or just discounted as a matter of reason. So fresh start for everybody this morning, and they're going to be thrilled to have a day like today where we have so many good scores.
Yeah, huh?
And by the way,
so two more coming in before we end up with the target closing.
I was just going to say that blue balloon, the blue verticals with the light blue and pink that went by you a moment ago, that's Wild Thing. And that is Shayna Richardson, or is it Shane? Hang on. Yeah, Shane Richardson out of Henderson, Nevada.
And so the blue equator with the white and blue multicolor horizontal bands. Seashell, no, it's a balloon on the side in the white that we can see. There's a nice orange throw, stayed right inside the triangle. That's good. Here comes the yellow one. That'll be scored on the X. While the other blue one with more black and gold in it dropped on the northern X.
And looking at my iPhone, which supposedly uses GPS time, we're at 9:27, so probably about 2 to 3 minutes of scoring time left. I don't know if we have another balloon that's going to get here in time, because our scoring window closes at 9:30.
I would agree. And the scoring, or the safety official that sets the smoke off, is in position. This guy right here.
So 9:28. I think we're at the 2-minute warning, or very close therein. Susan Collins.
What a great day.
Susan Collins was asking why were yesterday's scores thrown out, and I'm not sure. We just heard Henry Rosenbaum telling us that they decided to disallow yesterday's scores. It may have been because we canceled the flight before the scoring window closed for weather.
You're correct. The window was supposed to be open until 9:45. We closed it shortly after 9. And so I do think that what they did is threw out the scores, or are not using the scores in the overall competition, because yesterday's scores would have counted for the overall as well as the Sid Cutter Memorial.
Right, and I think it was because the winds came up and they canceled the task early. And so, to be fair to all of the pilots, some who could have scored and then didn't because of the early closing, they decided to disallow those scores for the overall championship. I believe that's the reason. That's the best reason I can give you.
As you remember, after we closed the target, there were a number of balloons still came by and threw their markers anyway.
Well, Steve Lombardi was one of those. We were talking about that earlier, who came by just minutes after they closed the target and went ahead and threw his marker. And then, as I made the comment, at least this morning, he got here in time. But he was here in time yesterday, just to be clear, except for the fact that we did close the scoring area early.
The countdown, 3,
2, 1.
And the competition is now closed.
Bingo. Well, I don't see, but maybe
wow,
2 balloons still in the air that might have scored if they didn't score earlier. So, yeah, I think everybody had their fair shot at the target this morning if you wanted it.
I think they did. And a lot of them got here.
Yeah, our scoring.
And I'm just looking, yeah. Even in the triangle that probably has the least in it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 on the fabric, that'll be 9. And that's in the triangle that has the least number of markers in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's at least a dozen in the one that's on the east side of the field. And, of course, anything that's not orange gets measured to the center of the X.
A lot of cheering for the various individual pilots. I'm just scrolling through our comments in our Facebook chat room. A lot of cheering by our viewers for their favorite pilots as they were watching them come across the target this morning. And so, yeah, it's interesting to see people shouting out Ryan Carlton's classic windup as he was watching. Anne LaFleur is so fun to watch. Nancy Engel, was that Tom Brown? Well, I'm not sure, Nancy. It may have been at the time that you were asking. Dina Lee, swing well, young Padawans, a reference to Star Wars, of course. Billy Broker has some friends online this morning. Trevor Laswell saying, come on, Billy. Nancy Engel says, yeah, go Larry Cohen. Another shout out for Billy. And, yeah, interesting comments from the crowd, our online viewers this morning. This has been day 4 of Balloon Fiesta. It's Coca-Cola Day today out here at Balloon Fiesta. Coca-Cola was our balloon of the day as they launched with the American flag to our national anthem to kick it all off, and what a spectacular day it has been. We had our Fiesta flyers who launched from the field, flew out, grabbed the box, and then flew west toward the river and out toward Corrales and Rio Rancho for landing zones. Then our competitors allowed to come in a little bit earlier, or a little later rather, on the second part of today's double launch, as Art likes to call it. And we saw most of them coming in an approach from the east and launching over in the foothills of the Sandias, climbing high, coming across to the field, then dropping down to make their approach to the targets. A lot of incredible scoring this morning. So a really, really good morning. I think everyone should feel good about the competition, getting us off to a great start for the overall championship. And it must have been quite a perspective from down there on the field where you've been all morning, Art.
Yes, Glenn, we're here now at the center of the X as the process of measuring all of these baggies starts taking place. So they, again, measure to the weighted part of the marker. And they have a number of these measuring tapes coming off the center pin there. So some are measuring one triangle, others are measuring the other triangle. This group that we have right here measuring those that were thrown on this X. They measure it, they record it, as well as the banner number. A number of people looking at it to make sure that it does get recorded and marked down correctly. So they kind of move the light tail. They pick up the tail there. They're reading the marker number off of it. Finding that in the paper. Okay, I got the same marker here. And then kind of move the tail to get to the weighted part. and measure to the nearest part of the weight. And they'll read off that distance, verified by a couple of other folks, and get written down.
And so they've got a lot of work to do today because there were several hundred scores made this morning. Remember, each pilot had the opportunity to score twice, and the two tasks will be scored separately, and then the scores are combined to give us a progressive total for our overall championships. And that, of course, will continue with competition again on Thursday and Friday mornings. The rest of the week for us lines out with tomorrow morning being another mass ascension, our midweek mass ascension on Wednesday, where we bring all the balloons back onto the field. We'll also have an abbreviated Flight of the Nations. We will honor those international pilots who are able to be here with us. Thursday and Friday are the days we dedicate to special shapes. We'll have special shapes on the launch field launching from the park. On Thursday and Friday mornings, those that choose not to fly will be likely on static display along the eastern side of the field along Main Street, as we will again clear the field for competition toward our overall championship on Thursday and Friday mornings following the launch of all our special shapes. We have 84 shapes, last I heard, that are registered this year. Thursday and Friday night, of course, are our famous special shapes glow-deos, and we'll have balloon glows with only the special shapes on the field. That's always a great fun. Of course, Thursday and Friday we have a lot of school kids who'll be out with us. Then on Saturday and Sunday we go back to our more typical Fiesta schedule with flights on our mass ascensions rather on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Saturday night, of course, is our final night magic glow. During the middle of the day on Saturday, Art and I will host the awards banquet over in the Sid Cutter Pavilion when all the prizes for competition are handed out, and we'll crown a new champion for the 2021 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And then on Sunday morning, our farewell mass ascension when we put all the balloons into the sky one more time before we bring this year to an end, and we immediately start looking toward, as we already have been, the 50th Balloon Fiesta coming up next year. So about time for us to say good morning, goodbye until tomorrow morning. Art, any final words out where you are?
I was just going to say, Glenn, it's been a fabulous day of competition here. A great wrap-up on what's coming up. Remember that all of our shows are archived online, balloonfiesta.com. You're going to want to go back and watch today's competition again and again. I think we brought you some great stuff both yesterday and today. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure and share all those videos. Tell all your friends, because we're going to do all this competition again on Thursday and Friday after tomorrow's Mass Ascension. So another great day, as you said, Glenn. Time to head back and move on to the next.
And remember, we are on the air and online with Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. for every day of Fiesta. Also, one final reminder, on Thursday and Friday afternoon, Team Skytrax is back with us. Fast Tracks, I'm sorry. I do that all the time. Team Fast Tracks. And they jump at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then later in the evening they do their pyrotechnics. If you want to see the jump live at 5 p.m., you need to be in the park. We will video the jump. That's the one where they bring out that 5,000 square feet of freedom, that giant American flag. That happens live at 5 p.m. in the park. We will video it and then show it on a tape delay basis when we come on the air at 6 p.m. on Thursday and Friday evenings. So Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil, on the air and online, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time every day for the remainder of Fiesta and our evening shows Thursday, Friday, and Saturday coming up. So for Art Lloyd Jr., our crack production team, and the remote camera team especially, bringing you those great shots from the Fiesta target zone this morning, thank you again for watching, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for Day 5 of the 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Thanks very much for watching, and good day, everybody.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Always in October and always in Albuquerque. The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is the world's premier ballooning event. Make plans now to join us in person in 2022 for the Big 5-0, the 50th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live.